Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday. Thank you guys for being here tonight. It's about to go down like four flat tires in Michigan. It's so good to be here because tonight, I know we laugh and we have a good time here at Black Man Unfiltered Network. Before I get started, go ahead and let's just be honest here. This is a great platform to come to be on, be a part of, because we are doing great things here. And so, since we are doing great things here, before we start, please go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe button as you come in. We have 17 people watching and 9 likes. So go ahead and get the likes up for me, please. Hit that like button as I continue on about what's going to happen on the show tonight. I have 2 reactions. I have a icebreaker reaction that we're going to look at first. And then after the icebreaker reaction, CJ, check your messages. After the icebreaker reaction, then we'll go into the meat of the night because I have to start off with something light first on this one tonight. As you guys can see, it says, like I said, I want to go to the sanctuary first, then we'll get to the show. Daryl Long, thank you for being here. Salute to you, man. We have Nat P in the building, just came, was over with us at with Security Boss, so thank you for traveling over to support me tonight. I appreciate you, my guy. We have Scam Likely in the building tonight, The Dust. He's also a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Scam Likely, for being here tonight. All right. We got What We Know Podcast. Also, What We Know Podcast. I think I sent you the link as well, brother. What We Know Podcast is in the building tonight. Let's see. He said, you know what it is. We have Queen Smiley in the building tonight. Man, we can't do a reaction without Queen Smiley. Listen, Queen Smiley is going to have to, I was talking to someone that knew her today. Queen Smiley is going to have to explain to us why that green dress was necessary. Let's get over here to, we have Von Bryant in the building tonight. Let's see. Thank you for being here. Greetings, joy, peace, and many blessings. Let's see here. We have, who else? Oh, well, that's it. So for now, all the 17 people that are watching, go ahead and get the likes up. If you just came in, we're at 13 likes, 17 people watching. Go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe button if this is your first time here. We're definitely going to get into it tonight. And like I said, more of a serious conversation. You see the title tonight? The title tonight is Mama, He Touched Me. What happens next will shock you. That's going to be the meat of the show that's coming up. But the first one is going to be the icebreaker tonight. So I want to go ahead and play that one first. I did see, let's see, Boss Lady came in tonight. Good evening to you as well, honey. If you're watching right now, 17 of you, please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe button, and the share button. Share this link with someone because I know in our community, this has happened a lot and it's not talked about. So let's go ahead and bring up the guests for tonight. I want to bring them up. I want to bring up Mr. Bennett first. Mr. Bennett, how are you doing tonight, man? I want to bring up CJ
good.
from the 5100 podcast.
What's going on?
Mandrell, Black Man Unfiltered Network. Queen Smiley, Black Man Unfiltered Network. JT, a part of Black Man Unfiltered Network, but also What We Know Podcast is in the building tonight. And last but not least, my brother from another mother, Dusto, is in the building tonight, man. It's so good to have you guys here. So good, so good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start out. We're going to go ahead and kick this thing off. We're going to go strong, but we're not going to go long because I know Queen Smiley got to get some rest, and she got to explain to us backstage. I may get her on live on why that green dress was necessary. However, we've got to hold her accountable tonight.
What green dress? What?
Yeah, she had a green dress on.
We're not. Yeah. Don't.
Let me go to Facebook right quick.
I mean, she looked lovely. I will say that she looked very beautiful.
She looked
very beautiful. Okay.
Foul on the play. Foul on the play.
Hey. So I will say, thank you, Jenny. Jenny's in the building tonight, my girl.
Thanks, Smiley.
Jenny, for being here. If you guys have not seen, man, Jenny's daughter and her cousin are amazing dancers. They're like amazing, beautiful. My God. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to play the first video first, and then we'll get into the meat right after we discuss this video right here. So let me go ahead and play this one first.
You got honey buns in the morning? Is that body positivity? Just be fat?
Body positivity is not about that. Body positivity is loving yourself where you are in life. And what you do not like about yourself,
No, it's not. Okay, no, it's not.
Well, I'm going to cut this real quick because what I want y'all to know, and I want everyone at home to know this as well, No woman should ever have to debate a man over her body. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this conversation right now. So I want every woman at home to understand this. There will be men in your life that are ignorant, that want to tell you that who you are is not enough. And let myself, let Chantel, and let my family here in the audience be the first to tell you your body is perfectly designed as is. You keep loving who you are, and if you can't find that love in yourself, there are people like us that want to reach out to you and send you that love.
You give your daughter honey buns in the morning? Is that body positivity? Just be fat?
Body positivity is not about that. Body positivity is loving yourself where you are in life. And what you do not like about yourself, you
No, it's not.
Okay,
No,
well,
it's not.
well, I'm going to cut this real quick, because
ain't.
what I want y'all to know, and I want everyone at home to know this as well, no woman should ever have to debate a man over her body. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this conversation right now. So I want every woman at home to understand this. There will be men in your life that are ignorant, that want to tell you that who you are is not enough. And let myself, let Chantel, and let my family here in the audience be the first to tell you your body is perfectly designed as is. You keep loving who you are, and if you can't find that love in yourself, there are people like us that want to reach out to you and send you that love.
I think Dusto should go first.
Dusto, you got your hand on your head. We'll go with you first, buddy. What are your thoughts on the first reaction video tonight?
Fat. Here's the deal. If we can't tell you anything about your body and your beautiful, fine. Men won't tell you anything anymore. Just don't say anything. When you're calling the man and the phone just keeps on ringing, goes to voicemail, or you're saying, "Excuse me, sir," and he just keeps on walking. That's how they want it. I mean, that's how they want to do this. I mean, honestly, men been talking for 20, 30, 40 years. You're fat. The wig's got to get burnt. Your attitude. If they don't want to listen, stop talking. I went from talking to them to trolling them, and soon it'll be no more talking. Because what's happening is some of these men, when they do find like 3 spouses that are left over, they're grabbing their spouses, they're getting out the game, and they're not talking anymore. They're like, "Hey, where'd the men go?" I'm like, "Where there's a dude right there with his legs crossed. Talk to him." I mean, hey,
yeah,
what you want to hear.
Yeah, I like the fact that you skipped over the whole thing. The most important part about this, and the most insulting, in my opinion, is that they're sitting there taking this advice from a queer. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I mean, that last video, the one with the chick who said all the male boys should be terminated.
Right.
When a woman finds out she's pregnant with a male black,
right,
terminated. Yeah, that one, and she was with Dr. Umar and some other brother, right?
Right.
And then there's another brother up there disguised as a woman, and they were having this discussion. You know the one I'm talking about, Black Man?
Yeah, I know. It was on Fox Soul.
Fox Soul.
That one, yeah. How are you going to have someone from the trans community talk about dating and relationships between a man and a woman? You were never a woman. And then I got a gay sitting here telling women, "No, your body's perfectly designed the way it is," instead of listening to the men who you say you want. They're telling you, "Hey, ladies, this is what we want." "No, I don't want to give you that." Okay, stay single. Like, it's insulting to me, that is. I mean, I got nothing against the LGBTQ community. I don't, but let's be real. The conversation must stay where the conversation needs to be had where it needs to be had.
The conversation's been had 100
right,
times.
but the thing is, there's no way for a person.
Mandrell, they said no.
Hold on. There's no way for a person.
They said no.
I get it, but there's no way for a person to. This is what a cognitive dissonance and how bad it's gotten. Like, there's no way for a person who's attracted to the same sex can really give you advice on how to have a relationship with someone, who's attracted to the opposite sex. Your frame of reference is just completely different. You're dealing with 2 different types of people. Women operate in a different way than men do, and vice versa. Your frame of reference is askew. Relationships aren't just relationships. There are differences between men and women. Hard, straight line, like irrefutable differences. And we operate with each other in a different way. It's no more like I can't sit in a conversation between people who are the LGBTQ community and tell them how to date. I don't know anything about dating in that community. So, I mean, that part there, it's gotten to the point where it's insulting, in my opinion. This whole shit with the voting and that stupid voting commercial. Listen, man, Yeah.
So, Queen Smiley, what are your thoughts, honey?
It's hard to follow Mandrell and all his ranting. Um,
Oh, well.
so
You know I'm right.
not necessarily.
I am, though.
So what they're saying in context
Uh-oh.
in regards to body positivity is true. I mean, love yourself for who you are and where you're at in life. That's a you thing. You know what I'm saying? In regards to who you're trying to acquire in dating, if you need to make some adjustments and you can, guess what? You have to take ownership and accountability and make those adjustments. Or else, like most men are mentioning, if you're looking for a certain type of man and it may require you to lose weight to do so, then you might need to do just that. If it requires you to stop wearing your wigs, then by all means, it may require you to do that. I refuse to let go of my wigs. Okay. I'm gonna wear my hair. And it's not that I don't have hair and I'm not proud of my natural beauty because I do not wear makeup. I'll do a little eyeshadow, whatever. I may do a little lash, my little
This is your
lip gloss.
natural hair now, is that correct?
So most of it is my natural hair. I did add some highlight extensions because I don't put chemicals in my hair. So this is my natural crown. These are my natural coils, the black ones for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So I wear my natural hair and I love it. But out of convenience, I'll slap a wig on this junk. Thankfully, I don't smoke, so I don't have to worry about it catching on fire. And so,
Petty.
Hey, Queen Smiley, can you greet the nation of Wigwam for us?
Yeah, go ahead.
Assalamu Wigum, my queens.
Wigum
salam.
Wigum salam.
So yeah, we gonna do that. But what they're saying is essentially true. And if that's not what you like, men, then don't go after those women. Y'all have to hold yourselves accountable as well because y'all give those women the power to say, I'm fat and in Dusto words, dusty, and I'ma still get a nigga. They still gonna come bang and smash out. So yeah, women have to love who they are and how they're made. Make adjustments if you're able to make adjustments, and if you can't, at some point you're gonna have to accept yourself.
Exactly, and that's what I always say too.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I always say you can get plenty of dick, but who will commit? Because
that's just like men who are obese. You know, you have women that just will not date men that are fat. You have women that will not date men that are bald. You know, that's the reality.
Now,
you know,
and I will say it's different for men and women in that regard, simply because of this. Most women like Lizzo, anyone. I don't think anybody on this panel, if it weren't for the money, I think aspect, would date Lizzo.
Even with the money, I wouldn't.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, but it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed that someone like I'm trying to think of some guy. What's the guy's name that played
Rick Ross, DJ Khaled?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross. Yeah. Right? Look at their wives.
I'm not jumping on them water beds.
You know what I'm saying?
That's essentially they look like water beds.
It's not. Look at what Lizzo gets publicly, and what do you see Rick Ross and DJ Khaled getting? Nothing. You don't hear fat. You don't hear fat shaming on Rick Ross and DJ Khaled, right? And they got women lined up. But Lizzo, on the other hand, she gets on stage and starts jiggling, and I don't know.
But it used to be part of your moniker. I mean, go back, Fats Domino.
Yeah,
and all these old guys. You're being big was part of your, yeah. That was
Gerald Levert. I mean, come on now. Everybody wanted some of that teddy bear Gerald Levert.
Yeah, but
that's that double standard. But
some of those men died early too.
Everybody argue Big Luther was the best Luther.
No, it's not really a double standard, Queen Smiley. The thing is, men and women are looking for different things in one another. What men are looking for in women, women are not looking for in men. Mm-hmm. And it goes the other way around. So it depends. What men value certain things in women. Women value certain things in men. Now, as society has grown and evolved into whatever the fuck it is today, women are looking for something different today than they were 30 years ago. 30 years ago, things that are important to me were important 30 years ago. Today, to the vast majority of people, not so much. So
Well,
Right.
some of
Blame
those
Diana
men,
Ross. Diana Ross started the whole thing.
Right. And you know what? Even with the big,
Go ahead.
even with the big dudes, I'll say this. Even Candy Burris, everybody know Candy from the non-lead singer of Escape, right? She even said it. She said that she dated Gerald Levert, and she was dating him around the time he passed. And she said, to this day, y'all gotta go look this interview up. When she talked about Gerald, she got emotional. She said, to this day, nobody has been in her life that has been a better lover, physically, mentally, and spiritually than that man. He will always carry that crown.
The other singer said the same thing.
And she even married.
What's her name?
Yeah,
every female he's ever dated said the same thing about him.
Who is that talking?
Hey, JT, your mic, something wrong with your mic, bro. You sound like Mickey Mouse.
His mic is off.
Oh, your mic turned off. Turn your mic on.
It's not off. It's not off.
Then why don't we hear you through the mic?
You must hear me.
We hear the echo through the room.
It sounds like
let
maybe
me
your
get
laptop
it
mic.
together. Let me get it together, bully.
Damn, Mandrell. Damn.
What are you talking about?
He said, let him get together, bully.
How come he didn't have his shit? He's a soldier. He's
I need one for my show too.
Mute your
it's
mic.
like the same reason we love when we
mic.
get on our nerves.
While what we know is getting ready. CJ, what are your thoughts on the video, my brother?
Unfortunately, I sort of agree with Queen Smiley.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you go. That's my boy. There he is.
Yeah.
Mandrell with your bully ass.
you're supposed to have your shit together before we start.
Go ahead, CJ.
But yeah, I agree with Queen Smiley in the context of what they were talking about. It's
Just
pretty
the
much it's pretty much true. Like, you know, you have to value yourself where you are. Now, should you want to improve? Yes. And you don't love yourself to a certain extent if you let yourself get out of control. I truly believe that. Because hell, this was a while ago, so don't judge me, right? I was hitting this chick, right? And I caught a little glimpse in the mirror, a side view of myself. I said, damn, I got a little stomach here. I was like, okay, let me tighten this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that that kind of speaks to the self-love. But as far as what would we call him? Mr. Tangerine or Mr. Tambourine player that was speaking. Yeah, I don't take guys like that seriously because the way he's dressing it is you shouldn't. A man has anything to say about X, Y, and Z. Look, y'all gonna have to stop with this bullshit. Like, men's opinions don't matter because it matters when you need money. It matters when you need wood. It matters when you need protection. It needs to matter elsewhere too. So I get tired of that. But overall, I agree with the statement because it's true. Like, it's about how you view yourself first off.
Yep. Mr. Bennett. Oh, Queen Smiley, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to that. And y'all have to excuse my voice. I went to Louisiana and the pollen count is a bit different than it is in Texas. So crossing over, it kind of jacks with my sinus and allergies. So if I lose my voice, y'all probably hear me go silent a little bit. Okay. But on the fact that the tambourine player was saying, like, for a woman, she shouldn't have to argue with a guy about her body. And so I don't think he was necessarily saying men's opinion don't matter because y'all opinions do matter. You know, how we see ourselves. Tambourine player. Yeah, you know.
But if we go back, hold on, but you know what though? If we go back to the video, at the beginning of the video, they were talking about women overfeeding their daughters. Yeah. And he said, when your daughter get up in the morning, why are you feeding her honey buns? Yeah. You don't think
is that self-love? I get it.
Right.
So I hadn't touched that, but I'm talking about her. They were going back and forth because she began to argue her point with this guy.
Right.
And so I don't think any man should argue with a woman most oftentimes than not, you know, like there's no point in arguing with a woman.
Question.
I get that.
So wait,
I understand what she's saying.
That's my thing. He was saying, don't argue with a man over how you feel about yourself. Love yourself. So stop at this point. Don't argue back and forth with a man about how you feel.
But here's a problem with that. Here's why I take issue.
Here's
why I take issue with it. He doesn't follow through and warn the women. the way he's supposed to. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you.
It's the accountability.
But here's the thing: if you're 400 pounds, I'm out. And who's going to be attracted to you if you're a candidate for my 600-pound life? He doesn't say that. He doesn't warn about it.
And that's a lot of times
He doesn't
what
warn.
happens. You hear people say those things, but then they don't follow up with the accountability. So
right, they don't follow up. Yeah, and understand.
Conversation is not being had.
And here's why women shouldn't take advice from queers. They don't want you. It is. Here's the thing. Queers
do the same thing. Say so, but don't follow through with the full.
But here's the thing. That's not the point, and that's not on the subject. Now the subject is this. Hold on. No, he didn't tell them about the risk of heart disease and all that stuff. He didn't tell them that if I understand women, do what you want to do with your bodies, but if men aren't attracted to it, they're just not attracted to it.
Spicy.
Right. Because
but they don't say that, and that's why I take issue with
conversation. If you watch that entire interview, if you haven't, you need to watch it. That's just a clip, but if you watch the entire interview, that's what they're talking about. Attractability. Hey, who will be attracted to a big woman that's eating honey buns every day? And she said a woman should be able to eat what she wants. She should be able to do what she wants and still be with someone that she wants to be with. And that man, like Mandrell said, that man should have said, okay, you can do what you want to do. We're not going to argue with you. However, right, there should be a however there. However, ma'am, if you continue to inhale honey buns, a man may not be as interested in you when you flaunt yourself, when you're trying to, when you're out saying, look at me, and it's look at us. They're looking at multiple people, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying that's what it is. And it's not the same way for men. Men go out pulling women and they big dudes. Women they're not able to do that. And so this man sitting up here talking about, don't you ever let somebody tell you about your body, call me. But
that's what I was getting at.
But you healthy. You sitting up here skinny, right? Your producer to the right skinny, right? All your people healthy, but you telling her to call you, but you gay. So you definitely not finna give her no dick.
It's competition. He's competing for the same man.
You're not gonna
Thank you, Dusto. Thank you, Dusto. He's competing for the same thing. And here's the thing: women are so crazy, they don't even see that.
Stay big, girl.
All that intuition women have, and they miss the big picture every single time. How do they miss it? All that brains they got, all the intuition, they consistently miss the big picture. That's your competition. The queer.
Well, I can tell you right now.
Why would you take advice from your enemy?
I can tell you right now. I kind of agree with the fruit, the tangerine or tambourine man. I kind of agree with him.
She said, I sent y'all the link, so please check that out.
The thing is this: we should not be arguing with women when it comes down to the way that they carry themselves or how they look at themselves. We should ignore them. Point them out. Let the women that want to, deal with it, tell them, listen, you can't get like that. You see that right there? You see that refrigerator? We don't want you that way. We don't need to be arguing with women, especially when they got the side of, I don't even know what you call these damn pretenders anymore. Because I'm about sick of these motherfuckers. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm tired of them. And I'm definitely tired of network TV. This is why network TV is starting to die, because that man still, if he wanted to have a conversation, because they were there to have the conversation. Cut the man off. So let's get that right. For him to cut the man off, that shows how disingenuous he is. So at the end of the day, they still should have had the conversation. Now, I know in the streets you shouldn't be arguing with women like that, but they should have had that conversation. They should have had that conversation. At the end of the day, we as men, I don't think that fat women are the problem. I think that the preference that men have is the problem.
That's not a problem.
I think men, I'm going to tell you why, because men don't think that they deserve better. They don't think that they deserve better, and they're not speaking up. Look at how many men that sit back and talk about how much they like BBWs. Look at how many men that sit back and tell you how they like these women that we ain't talking about women that just got weave. Damn the weave. The basic weave, ain't nobody even gonna see. We ain't gonna even fucking know. We won't even ask you. But when you talk about these women that's going overboard with the way that they look ugly. What we need to do as men, that actually see this on display is to point it out as ugly. We should not be given any leeway with it. It is ugly. When you are out here and you're looking like, and I'm not even gonna say anything about Lizzo. She's a star. Should nobody be even trying to holler at her? We can see what's going on with her. You can see it. You don't see her having no man on her side. You don't see her having, all you see is a bunch of fruity men in her videos and on stage with her dancing around her. That's it. You don't see no fat dudes, do you? You don't see not one fat dude that's sitting there, but you'll see a bunch of fat girls sitting on stage being, so what we have to do as men is start to ignore it. Point it out and ignore it. We're not doing it. We the problem.
All right. Well, Ms. CJ, go ahead.
I mean, I already answered. I think Mr. Bennett.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bennett. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Bennett.
I think for the most part it's been answered. I agree. I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm just going to keep moving the way I'm going to go. I think it's fruitless to, especially if you already have. But again, it's just to argue with a fool. Period. It's just not a wise thing to do with your time. So if someone's going to be so hard set in their position, it's almost like a religious zealot. If you're so hard in your position, you're not going to change it. Then I'm wasting my time trying to argue with you. So your lifestyle and the choices that you make, that's totally on you. So I agree with the gentleman in regards to that. But it's interesting. He talked about, the way you would design was perfect. I agree with that. But at the same time, your body has been given to you. You have stewardship over it. So what you do to it, so you might have been created perfectly, but what you do to it, how you maintain that over time, that's up to you. Okay. So if you're not going to be putting the time into, first of all, forget the aesthetics of it, just your health. Health is always going to be number one. Then your fitness. If that's not a priority to you, then you may suffer the consequence of that, both in health or relationships or what have you, or not being taken seriously by someone who wants to wed you. But you're going to have to bear the brunt of that. But it just also, the video also goes to show, we've talked about this in prior shows about the rise of the LGBTQ community. And again, our women have been with it. It's almost like it's a symbiotic relationship, because they'll be the first ones to jump to their defense when any man tries to come at them. And again, it could very well be for some of the reasons Dustin was talking about. There's competition. But they'll be the first ones to come to the defense and say, hey, you're perfect. You don't have to change. You don't have to do nothing. So
yeah, because they want to keep them fat and ugly.
Exactly. But I'm saying, if they're the ones who are going to constantly defend black women no matter what in this context, then likely, then a lot of black women are then going to in turn defend them, because those are the ones who are giving them the most validation. They're not necessarily going to hold them accountable to any standard, whereas the man, the heterosexual men would. We're going to say, no, there are things that I require of my woman. These guys are going to say, girl, don't worry about it. You bad all by yourself. Just go ahead and do what you're doing. Hey, for a lot of women, that's going to be, hey, why would I want to be scrutinized that way? So, if you're going to be constantly paying those compliments to women that you're perfect as you are, just be yourself or what have you, then there's going to be that relationship that, hey, one is going to support the other. So you're going to say, hey, don't be talking about my friend that way. Because again, that person is validating me. So it's like a symbiotic relationship that's being formed between those two.
So let me say something real quick. So people would consider calling this woman fat or telling her she needs to lose weight as shaming. So do we have the same energy for men and women who take advantage of young kids and we call them what they are? Is that shaming, or is that just calling them what they are?
What do you mean specifically by that? What are you talking about? Take advantage of kids in what way? You mean?
I don't want to say, I'm trying not to.
I got you. Okay. Well, one is illegal and the other one isn't. So that's a big difference right there.
But it's still a behavior. It's still a way that you're living that I'm calling out a behavior.
But an illegal one. That's the dividing line. That one that you're referring to violates every human code, whether it be atheist, agnostic, whatever. That's across the board. Whereas
gluttony is
weight gain is not. What's that?
Gluttony is a sin, is it not?
True, very, very true. But it's one of those ones. But
everybody doesn't go by. This is the thing. Everybody doesn't go by that.
I think
context.
y'all missing me. What I'm trying to say is, when you see something that's wrong, calling something wrong is not shaming. That's my whole
Right.
point.
I agree.
So you could make the argument. There's literally people that argue for the light that was on the screen right now. That's literally there's literally a petition out here pushing for that to be the norm. So one day it might not be illegal. Is it still wrong if I call you the word?
CJ.
That makes sense.
Go
I
ahead.
get what he's saying. I get exactly what he's saying. You're right. In a sense, it's still people. But the thing is that this is how people they get things and they pick things out the way that they want when they want to be righteous. You know what I'm saying? So even when you're talking about that thing, it's you got people in Canada that's fighting for the right for that. Matter of fact, they have a flag. It's almost just like the LGBT.
Yep. So, Mrs. She said, why can't it be love and concern for longevity in life? God forbid we have a natural disaster and we're left out on our own. Survival of the fittest.
They're not fit. They won't survive.
And
the thing is, Miss She said, they take too much shit for granted. The vast majority of women take too much for granted. They walk around the earth, and fellas, correct me if I'm wrong, they walk around completely oblivious to the dangers of the world. And they don't listen to men when we're the ones who have to constantly walk with our heads on a swivel. I think DL and JT and Dusto as veterans can back me up on this.
Yeah, well,
the world is a damn dangerous place, and they walk around with not one care. They walk around with shark bait on and jump in the middle of the ocean.
Now let me
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to be funny because this is a serious subject. However, my grandfather used to say something about this. My granddaddy said, "Stop worrying about people." Somebody else said this. I think it was JT said, "Stop worrying about them." Right? My grandfather said, "Because, son, when the lion comes, you don't have to outrun the lion.
You got to outrun
the fat. You got to outrun the one that ain't fit enough to outrun the lion."
Yeah,
that's what he said. He said, "You don't, son. Just shut up." True. He said, "When the time comes," and he meant lion, mean metaphorically anything that's in danger that you have to be fit to do. He said, "Don't worry about it, the lion." Don't worry about them. When the lion comes, you don't have to outrun the lion. You have to outrun the person.
Black man, I talked to some lions. They said that that's not true. The lions are on a diet and they got the shaming thing going on. So they were chasing the fat women and two skinny men. They decided not to eat the fat woman, and they went all the way and ate the skinny man because they were concerned about that. They didn't want to end up like that big woman. So things have changed.
And back in the day, it wasn't called shaming. When you call somebody big or fat or whatever, it was a part of our damn speech.
You fucked up that stuff.
In school, in roasting sessions, the comedians used to do it a lot. It wasn't fat shaming. But now, they say if I saw I don't know what TV show it was, but they said if you tell a girl that she's overweight, because I remember they used to have standards for even cheerleaders in college. You have to be a certain weight, certain size. I looked at some college games now. I say, who is that? What is that?
It's some of my daughters.
They running down the goddamn field and just rolling around. So I was like, oh my God.
Who gonna toss her big ass?
Some of my daughters.
Come on, let's go. Who finna pick her up? And then now it's gonna be fat shaming because you don't pick her up.
Yeah, it doesn't end.
Right.
I mean, it does. It ends when we end it. I mean, everything we talking about, y'all. Everything we talking about.
When we
end it. Hold on, before you go, DSA, have you seen the video?
No, I have not. You gonna show me little people, man? You gonna show me people with messed up hands? You gonna really show? Okay, just making sure.
The reaction video. Here we go.
Is that body positivity? Just be fat?
Body positivity is not about that. Body positivity is loving yourself where you are in life. And what you do not like about yourself,
No, it's not.
Okay,
no, it's not.
Well, I'm going to cut this real quick because what I want y'all to know, and I want everyone at home to know this as well, no woman should ever have to debate a man over her body. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this conversation right now. So I want every woman at home to understand this. There will be men in your life that are ignorant, that want to tell you that who you are is not enough. And let myself, let Chantel, and let my family here in the audience be the first to tell you your body is perfectly designed as is. You keep loving who you are, and if you can't find that love in yourself, there are people like us that want to reach out to you and send you that love.
You give your daughter honey buns in the morning? Is that body?
Man, that's absolute bullshit right there. And
I
that's
would have cussed his ass out. He gonna point and then say ignorant.
That's absolute bullshit right there. But here's the thing.
Damn network.
I've gotten into back and forth.
I don't want to disappoint you, DL Saint.
Oh, here we go. Here go. Where my little money at?
So this is what he says. He says, women, be okay with your bodies, and no man you can't debate. Okay, it's fine. We agreed on that at the beginning of the show. But he went on to say, you are perfectly fine just the way you are. Your Honor.
There is more.
Hold on. Your Honor, I would like to enter this into evidence for this case.
2 hands up, keep them up. 2 hands up, keep them up. 2 hands up, keep them up. Take it to the floor. 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 Good knees, good knees, good knees, good knees, good knees, good knees. Keep your hands up, keep them up, you shake it. Keep your hands up, keep them up, you shake it. Keep your hands up, keep them up, you shake it. Keep your hands up, you ready? They go 10, 9, 8, 7,
Throw in the damn towel.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. First of all, bro, I can't unsee that one. I cannot. I will never be able to unsee that. And hey, bro. And here's the thing. That's unhealthy. So for me to tell a woman like that, like you need to lose weight because you're unhealthy, and this is going to kill you, and it's going to drag down our medical system. That makes me misogynist. We're at a point now where doctors can't even weigh you when you come in for a checkup. You can opt out of that. I don't want to get on the scale. I'm the doctor. I need to see how much you weigh.
What you got to do? Guess they weight?
No, here's the thing. Okay, first of all, order in the court. God damn it, order in the court.
Ain't no order in this court, man. Drill ain't never been, ain't never will be.
This is my court. God damn it.
I love the chat.
All right, listen.
Oh Lord, I'm never gonna be able to unsee that, man. My eyes burning, man.
She was able to hold that squat for almost a minute and then get up. But that weight, I couldn't do that.
I was about to say that. Right, I was about to say that, Mr. Ben. I was like, first of all, it's actually, I think it's impressive. She was able to hold that squat for that long. That was gonna be the first thing I said. You know, that's actually impressive.
Her stomach was holding her up. What are you talking about?
Hey, look, man, she needs to move. She needs to move to Japan. There's a very lucrative contract for her in the sumo wrestling world, because she can get out there and just do one leg at a time. Just get down that motherfucker and she be like, I'm telling you, bro. Somebody need to get her a C-17 because she ain't gonna be able to get on the 737. Somebody get her a C-17.
No, did y'all see her undercarriage? It was already down on the ground. What you talking about? That was optics,
man.
She didn't bend.
2 hands up, keep them up. 2 hands up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 Tahoe. It now comes in beige.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
She had 2 tires, 2 spare tires up under there.
Man, that car was that truck was happy she got out. Like, thank God she got out for a minute.
No, I believe the truck reproduced.
Blew her knees out.
Y'all fucked up. Bro.
Yes, we are.
The truck was pregnant and just gave labor to it.
Off the ground. So
Nat said she must be clinically diagnosed weightlifter. I don't know.
Hey, look, the first thing though, like I said, I can't unsee that. The second thing, somebody hitting that. Somebody, yes, they
gotta be held accountable.
Somebody
just like
hitting
I said,
that.
It ain't the fat women, it's the man's preference.
Somebody hitting that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
This also says she seemed
happy. If you still able to get jugged looking like that, if it ain't broke.
Now, I guarantee you.
Can't you agree that that's what the problem is right now? We got too many goddamn kids that's being kids by goddamn parents they don't really want. That's the problem right now. Somebody out here screwing something like that, and they don't have. All we doing is doing something like that, but they doing a bunch of undiscerned, just screwing with no discernment at all.
What
just
you said,
nasty.
Sosa?
But it shows, and I see what. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. It shows one thing. You know, I talk to a lot of women. They're like, well, you know, this man done made me mad, so I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna sleep with a bunch of men. Okay, right? And it's a false equivalency because it's hard for men to get sexual access from women, attractive women especially. And the proof is, look at her. Little shorty is getting it in. I ain't mad at her, do you? But her weight is unhealthy. She is shaving years off of her life. She can't tell me. The fact that she can get down like that and get back up, good for her. But how is she going to get up a flight of stairs? You know, if the house on fire, how many firemen is going to take to drag her out the building? They're going to let her burn up, bro.
First of all, she gonna get down. She gonna get up those stairs one at a time, like they all do. Okay. Second, if that fire come up there, she's just gonna burn. I mean, it's gonna be a nice barbecue. I mean, if you're into cannibalism.
Yeah, fucked up.
The words of Mandrell or Mandrell's words alone, don't be lumping me in. They're gonna get mad at me because the Mandrell said some stuff.
Listen, get mad at me. I don't care. Bring don't get mad at DL. I said it. Bring it to me.
So basically, what you're saying is, if you were a firefighter and you walked upstairs, you, Mr.
Fuck
Bennett,
it, you done.
JT, and
I'm walking right back out that room. I'm walking right back out that room.
Walk in and the house is blazing and she's laying in the bed saying, "Help me get out." What's going on?
No, because you finna get us both killed.
Nah, bro. I'm gonna take that mask and tank off. I'm gonna put it on her, like breathe deeply, and I'm running out. I'm running out.
Man's carry test is like, I think 200 pounds. I think is the limit. You got to take a 200-pound sack. You have to go up a flight of stairs.
Right.
So if you 200 plus, then even if you were a bodybuilder who was 300, I don't know if I can. That's
right. And I'd like to say something to the comment that DeSosa made earlier. Like, if she's not your type, is it 10-13? If she's not your type, keep moving and leave her alone. See, comments like this.
Actually, she's right. But go ahead.
No, hold on. Comments like that.
I'll tell you why. But go ahead.
Further prove my point that black women don't give a shit about the black community. You don't care.
Yeah.
You're saying that that's okay when you know it's not.
But that comment has nothing to do with how people see the black community.
Yes, it is.
You're saying
don't say anything to her.
Somebody said earlier about preference. Your preference is your preference. The biggest argument that most men have is, ain't nobody gonna find you attractive. Ain't nobody gonna marry you.
It's far beyond preference nowadays.
We get that about the health and the community and all of that. But that statement saying, if that ain't your type, keep pushing. That ain't your type, keep pushing. It ain't Mandrell's responsibility or anybody on this network's responsibility to save the entire black community.
Oh, so we don't have to save black women. Thank you, Queen Smiley. I'll keep that.
I already said it. No,
Mandrell,
you got choices. I've always said it. You got choices.
Yeah, you got choices.
Always said
no,
it.
Mandrell,
We got choices.
The fact is, yes, there's a whole bunch of 388-pound women out there.
He's 80.
And yeah, at 88 pounds. And they're getting bigger and bigger. And the men are saying, hey, we don't want that. The men that are over there, what can you tell them? You're saying you don't want it, but you're over there 3 days a week. Or you're over there talking to them, just like the men who say, I hate these women, these bad. They're spending.
Stop this shit.
I'm dusting off men and women.
No, I'm saying though, like the niggas that would be knocking that down, don't nobody care about no way.
They don't care about him, right? They don't care. So you
know what I'm saying is this.
Why should we keep banging on their door?
What I'm saying is this.
Dude, get up out of all that body.
What I'm saying, the 388-pound women and the dusty dudes that are over there beating them up, yelling and mad and all this other stuff, can they please just stick together in one little box and leave us who want to be productive alone? But I'm not going to be over there with them yelling at 388-pound women or the dustmeisters that are over there yelling at them. They should be able to do something more productive, like going to try to talk to the 4 decent women that are left.
I don't think that. Listen, I do not think that it's a problem.
Trolling them is cool. I don't
think it's a problem.
But here's the thing, though. But it goes back to what we're talking about. What are we talking about here? Are we talking about saving people? We got to save people from themselves, right? Are we talking about saving people, or are we talking about just doing our own thing? What are we talking about here?
I'm not saving anybody. I mean, the community's dead. They killed it.
That's why I said I don't see it as a problem because I'm not dealing with it. I'm not going to deal with it.
I only deal with people.
That's just what it is.
The 388 pounds, they got to listen.
I was just commenting at the fact that Mandrell said the comment pretty much further, shows that black women don't care about the community.
I don't think they do.
And I said, no, you can't tie that statement into that. because somebody else just mentioned in the chat, we take care of our loved ones. If our loved ones are in that situation, yeah, we'll say something to our loved ones. But am I gonna go tell this random 600-pound chick in Walmart, girl, now you know you don't need all 7 boxes of them Debbie cakes in that buggy? That's her business.
I'm just gonna troll her.
But to Mandrell's point, but check this out. But to Mandrell's point, I think he's telling the truth because she had a bunch of goddamn women that was her loved
not
ones.
holding her accountable.
They was not holding. They was go on, get it, girl. Doing the
So if
damn
you were walking out of the store,
you had the whole audience again applauding the effort.
so if you were walking out the store and you saw them doing that, would you stop those ladies and say something?
It ain't my problem.
I would clown them. I would
You
say,
see
I
what
would
I'm
joke or
saying?
something. I would say something disparaging.
So y'all trying to say this is wrong,
To
this is wrong with the
discourage the
black
behavior.
community, but nobody's gonna address the situation when you pass by. You gonna look,
I think
shake
it'd
your
be
head.
better if it came.
I don't think this is.
I think women should hold women accountable, men should hold men accountable. Because if I come out and say, "Hey, ma'am, did you get your big ass up?" Or that's gonna be different than you saying, "Hey, Queen Smacker, you know you're going to a real easy and loving. Hey, girl, come on now." You know, it's different from a man saying to a woman. Like like right now, if I walked outside and the dude was pussy popping on the sidewalk and he was 500 pounds,
the fuck?
I'm gonna say something. Be like, "Hey, whoa,
damn!" I'm gonna say something to him.
Okay, so ain't nobody told Ross to put his shirt on with all that fat ass stuff.
Did you say he was bussy? Was he bussy popping?
Yeah, hey, Queen Smiley. Just earlier today, I talked to a woman who was overweight
I thought everybody
and had the conversation about losing weight, and she was receptive to the conversation. So I'm just saying, one, I'm in the gym. I was coming on the way to the gym on the phone talking to this person, and I talked in a way where the person could listen. I did my part. I try to do my part. Now, the ones I don't really know like that, I'm gonna just troll them. But hey, I got a job to do.
I just always thought that when we have these conversations and it's like, well, if you don't want to deal with it, don't say nothing. But we do that. That's a bullshit argument. I mean, because everybody's.
You understand what I was saying?
Not you, bro.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying,
but you know what I noticed? And Queen Smiley, we from the same city. You know what else I noticed? Them big ass girls like that, dudes that's going over there hitting them. They either just got out of jail, they slow as hell, they ain't got no girlfriend, nappy head, ugly ass dudes. That's over there knocking them down.
Hey, it's power of that Foxy Brown, baby. Power of that Foxy Brown. Hey, it is what it is. And y'all mad at Passport Boys. I will get my happy ass on the plane and go to you name the country before I lay up on that, bro. Come on, man. Come on.
And now they saying it has to be acceptable. You have to accept people.
That's what I said. The problem.
Yeah.
And real quick, I want to clear something up. By happy, I mean I'm not mean like my Mandrell. I'm not part of the rainbow community. I'm just letting y'all know I said happy, but I know how y'all get. Let me clear that up.
No, they can kiss my delicious ass. Is what they can do.
Oh shit.
First of all, I'm not
clear that up.
I'm not a part of that community either.
No, and you're not happy. They don't look at you as happy. That's what I'm saying. I was saying I'm happy. You know, the opposite of Mandrell.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't like that fairy they had on the clip we just showed. I don't like that. Why are you talking about relationships between men and women? You're gay. You like men.
Yeah.
You're not a woman. You have no frame of reference.
Because when you lie, you buy. When you lie, they buy, man. That's it. Look at Derek. No shade to Derek Jackson, but I ain't mad at that man for how much money was he walking to the bank telling people what they wanted to hear.
Absolutely.
Same thing there. I ain't mad at you when you lie, they buy. We can all do that.
Like nobody's not messing with the bag.
As a reflection of that, you like I said again, when you're working, I'm trying to maneuver this the right way, and you're looking down at a person that you work with, and that person is snoring, but their eyes are open.
Oh my God!
And see that, and that's listen to me. One day, I'm a big dude. I'm a big dude, right? And Mr. Bennett, I forgot to tell you, I've lost 25. But the guy was the person was sitting there.
Yeah, do you do that, Black Man? Do you still your eyes open?
No, sir.
How you know, boy? You sleep? How you know?
No, not he wasn't asleep. He was awake.
He was awake.
You ain't sitting here like this.
Look, he's like this. It's like this. This the typing. This person was typing like this, eyes wide open.
I'm a lady like that.
You sound like a bulldog. Hear what it sound like a bulldog?
Sound like a damn pug.
And dude, I'm telling you, when I first got there, I didn't know, bro. When I first got there, I didn't know. So I looked up, you know, my face expressions talk. And so I looked up like, what the fuck? And I turned all the way around, eyes wide open.
Damn.
What in the entire fuck is going on here?
And here's the thing, though. But
So
real talk, brother.
Conversation. One day we had the conversation. I don't know if I was medically right. This is not no medical. I'm not no doctor. But we were having the conversation. The conversation went a little something like this. He said, "Hey man, you're a big dude too." I said, "Yeah, but I'm trying to lower mine down." And I'm thinking to myself, "Please, Lord, don't ever get me to the point where I'm just sitting on a platform talking to people and I'm snoring while I'm awake." You know. But they were asking this person why. This person was asking, "Why do you think that happens when I'm awake?" I said, "Because your body is trying to find oxygen, and your body is trying to find oxygen, and that's the reason why it sounds like your engine is failing."
There's definitely a check engine light somewhere on.
Yeah, he had to take his bypass with him to work. You just tell him, look, that shit that you got on the nightstand, you bring that shit to work with you.
So when the oil light was on,
man, you gotta come on in, bro. You gotta bring that on in, man. Come on down to the service.
So when the oil.
Okay, so guys, listen, I want to get to the meat so I can get y'all out of here, guys. We'll pick that conversation up.
We already got to the meat.
We got to the meat of the fat.
Yeah, till we get to the fat. Right. Well, we got to the fat. Let's cut the fat off and get to the meat. The real meat. Let's
Shout
see
out to
here.
Mr. Bennett for his workout, man. He be
They
putting it in.
said that apnea is real. That's right. You're correct. Okay. So let me
bring that shit with.
But you know what's terrible though, real quick, brother Black? You know what's terrible?
Yeah.
We are being programmed now. Like we are looking in real time. We are watching the demise of our own community at every level, at all aspects. We're making light of, we're having fun, but think about it. That brother is dying. And if we say something and try to help him out, we are being toxic. Because he should be allowed to love his curves or his body is perfect. No, it's not. That's why you can't even breathe while you're awake. Imagine what he sounds like when he's trying to sleep. That brother probably stops breathing 4 or 5 times a night.
Yeah.
Way more than that.
Real.
Way more than that.
Yeah, I grew up with a guy.
If he's awake and he's snoring,
yeah,
that's over 80 to 100 times.
Yeah, well, Black man, some of them people like Luther Vandross that you mentioned, half of them died early.
I grew up with a guy. I'm not gonna say his name because I loved him dearly, but we tried to tell him the same. I grew up with a guy, and he was so bad, guys, that he couldn't sleep in the bed with his wife. He had to sleep. Wow. He had to sleep sitting straight up. If he laid down, he knew he would pass away.
Whoa! He knew he would die if he laid
in his sleep. Reggie White.
Huh? Yeah, Reggie White,
the football player, right?
Yep.
It was like some apnea stuff or whatever. He just went to bed as normal and just didn't wake up. But it happened with a lot of heavier guys, especially ex-football players.
Just like I said, man, let me tell you something that really changed it. Because I'm a big dude. I'm not the guy's size, but I'm a big dude. And when I saw that, man, it just motivates you. You like, listen, if he ain't gonna do it for himself, I gotta do it for myself. Fuck this shit. I'm not gonna be sitting up here going to my kids' games and I'm woke and people can't even record around me because I'm snoring while I'm woke.
Hey, bro, man,
you in church.
Shut it up.
Not even that. You can't even go to your kids' game and enjoy yourself because you're having a hard time with mobility.
Yes.
You know?
And I don't want to be. And I told my kids,
move around when I get older.
And I told my kids, if I were to waste my life and just get 700, 800, 900 pounds, when it gets to a point, y'all got to feed me and wipe my ass, take me to the Grand Canyon, push me over the edge. I don't deserve it. I don't want my kids wiping. You got to look at that. You don't want your kids wiping your ass and coming over cleaning you up, and you at the nursing home and the CNA's whooping your ass every day.
Yeah, that's real talk.
Turn your big ass over. I can wipe your ass. There's videos of CNA workers beating the shit out of fat people.
What they be doing, Black
Don't
man?
do that. Don't make them do that again.
Why you beat his ass like that?
Hey, Black man, can I do the honors?
The bed.
Just so your kids don't have to live through that trauma. May I do the honors?
Yeah.
I'm putting you down. I can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, we're gonna just put you on the airplane. We're gonna get in the airplane. Me and Mandrell gonna jump out, and you can just do whatever you want to do for the rest of your life. Because when that gas run out, you know that's you can't land that bird.
It motivates you when you go to a football game and you look at, like, I just went to the Grambling Prairie View game in that big ass Fair Park Stadium, the Cotton Bowl, and people going up them steps and people are stopping 2 or 3 times to take breaks. I thank God. I said, Lord, I got to listen to me. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do it. And you get older too. You get into your 40s. Oh hell no.
Do you ever run those for football? You ever run those steps or any stadium, like just as for practice, right? You used to have to run those. Yeah,
I ran steps yesterday.
I used to hate that shit, bro.
Man.
Yeah, but anyway, man, I want to get to this, man.
That's real work, though, for real.
That was one of my favorites.
Full body.
I hadn't done it in
and you don't want to get to the point. Yeah, you don't want to get to the point where you have to start talking to your dick either. Come on, get hard, please. Come on.
No, you don't want to get to a point where you can't see your dick, bro. How can you walk around in life and you can't see it? You can't see. Is it there?
You gotta whistle at your dick.
When I went to before my grandfather died, my grandfather said that to my brother because my brother's he was bigger than me, and my grandfather and I was a little smaller than him. My grandfather looked at my brother. He said, son, boy, you get to a point you ain't gonna see your dick in a minute.
Black man, you get to the point.
Yeah, your brother Friday.
Yeah, boy. He did. He was at the game.
Come on, Hill. Yeah. Come on, Hill.
So you got to start calling your dick.
Come on, like it's a horse. Come on,
at that point, it's like a groundhog.
Giddy up.
Nah, bro. So you get some little shorty finna give you the Foxy Brown. You got to put a clapper on your dick. Let's go. Showtime!
It's showtime!
Get your ass up!
Hey, your bitch look up at you and say, I was walking around when I was with y'all them time, motherfucker.
Damn, lights all fucked up in the house. Lights all fucked up. Dishwasher on. What the hell? I'm sorry, I done cost us. Wait a minute. Hold on now.
But listen to me.
Someone in the chat said, all rise.
All rise!
Okay. Okay, so now I'm glad that we laughed, man. This next subject, I guarantee you nobody here will laugh for the rest of the night.
But you don't know your panel. I bet you somebody make a dark joke, but continue.
Okay, here we go.
Sometimes
I'm gonna let y'all watch this. Brace yourselves.
Yeah, you don't know your panel.
You're familiar with it because you saw it, I think, already.
I'm scared. You telling me to brace myself? All the shit you didn't show it on here. I'm scared.
Here we go.
I've seen this before.
Mom. What? I have to talk to you. Talk to me about what? Drew came in my room again. What? He came in my room.
Here we go with this cheat. Well, I mean, okay, he came in your room and then what? Then what?
He touched me.
Touch you how? How the fuck did he touch you now, Chi? Like, I'm really, for real, at this point, you really starting to get on my motherfucking nerves. Like, he is a good man. Here you go with this same bullshit. I thought we had this fucking conversation already. I don't even want to fucking do this shit no more. So what else, what did you want to tell me? Tell me. He touched you, what did you do? What did you do for him to touch you?
I didn't do anything. I was asleep. It was after y'all came back from the club.
You know what? Your dumb ass, every time I look up, you got, so last night when me and him came from the club, he came in your room last night, what did you do? What the fuck did you do?
I was asleep.
Okay, and then he did what? What the fuck did he do? What did he do, Chi?
He touched me.
Touched you where?
Touched me in the wrong places.
I'm sick of this bullshit. For real. This is a good motherfucking man. You running around all day in motherfucking booty shorts. What the fuck was you doing when he came over here and he came out the room?
Why are you mad at me? It's your boyfriend.
You my motherfucking daughter. You trying to take my motherfucking man. That's a problem.
How am I trying to take your man?
That's a problem. Why you wear them little ass shorts when he here?
You bought them.
Okay, I fucking bought them. For you. Yeah, but when my man come up in this motherfucker, you ain't supposed to have
no. So you gonna believe, you gonna have it starting my mind?
It ain't got shit to do with size. This is a good motherfucking man. He paid his bills.
Well, I don't want to be here, so I'm finna just call the police.
Oh, bitch, call the police. You can get the...
Yeah, man, mom knows. That's terrible.
That wasn't funny.
That's terrible. Mom knows.
I told you nobody gonna laugh no more.
That's terrible right there.
We'll start with Dusto first, man. Just Dusto, what are your thoughts?
I won't say much because I know somebody. I know a daughter. I know a mother that's almost word for word how it was. Prior, the grandmother also had went through. I've seen this before, like word for word, all the way up to the grandmother. And it was almost word for word how it was.
Yeah, I've heard that conversation in person before.
Should we not talk about her because we shaming her though? Should we just
That's
not talk about it?
No, that's another level. Shame that's another level.
It's literally the same thing.
It's the same thing. Shame. We're shaming her now.
No, I'm saying this is a way whole nother level. This like
everybody agrees with this one. That's why. That's why we say that. But the point I'm making is, this is how that happened. This is exactly how that happened. You can't say nothing. So just like that woman got out of control weight, this woman ain't nobody checking her ass, so she's allowed to do what the hell she want to do. That's the point.
But it's like Brother Bennett said, it becomes legalities at a certain point. You know what I mean?
No,
There's a difference.
What I'm saying is this is beyond like normal behavior, like being fat, like being this and doing. This is another level.
You know where you from? Because I know a lot of this shit, and that's why I'm mad as I am. Because that shit made me mad. But this is common, bro.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Sadly enough, to say.
And this ain't new. It's common and it's not new to our generation. I used to hear grown folks talking about this when I was a kid.
Yeah,
you know, and I grew up in the 70s. You know what I mean? So I can remember as a young kid hearing grown ups talk about this stuff. I'm high, I'm around the corner. They don't know I'm there, and I'm hearing these conversations. Sad.
And instead of trying to protect your daughter, you say you trying to take my man.
Again, like I said, I've seen mothers say that to their daughters. I've heard daughters, I've heard women, talk to me about and share stories like that when they was growing up. Their mother thought, mother boyfriend would come in their room, do whatever, and the mother would swear the daughter's trying to take her man. This shit's crazy. Like, I mean,
let's get the brass tacks. Let's get the fucking brass tacks. That's why you don't date a woman with fucking kids, especially when she got a goddamn.
No,
daughter.
what I'm saying is
this is why I say what the fuck I say. This is why I say it. Everybody just said it, didn't they? It's common.
No, what I'm saying is, this ain't just some regular mom who made some bad decision.
This is an average fucking mom.
I'm saying this is a mom whose mother and whose okay. The situation I know of this went beyond just the child, beyond the mom, all the way up to the grandmother, and that grandmother wasn't even given a fair chance. I'm not saying not throwing victim. I'm saying I'm just saying this is not a regular mom making a regular dumbass decision. That's all I'm saying. It's way deeper than that.
Listen.
That's all I'm saying.
Half of these women ain't regular moms. That's what the issue is. This is why they get mad. It goes to what CJ was just asking. So we don't shame this.
It never stops.
I'm saying it's deeper than shame.
It never stops. When a man sit back and speak up and say, "Listen, it is not conducive." This is what we get into. It is not conducive, and it shouldn't be any woman that's dating with young children, especially when you got teenage girls that's dating and just going out and just dating any nigga that they don't know. It should take a minute for a woman to even let any man get close to their fucking kids. The problem is that these women are out here dating these dudes as if they don't have any fucking kids. This is a very common thing. Very common. And it's on two sides. Let me tell you.
I'm not talking about the commonalities, but go ahead.
Hold on, guys. One second. We want to go to the chat because we want to make sure they're involved as well. This also says it has nothing to do with single mothers.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I can agree to a point with this one. Like I
think I get what she's saying.
No,
it can be interpreted two ways.
CJ was saying. I mean,
I get what she's saying by that.
Let him talk.
One mic, guys. One mic.
Okay, my bad.
Go ahead, Brother Bennett.
No, it's kind of what CJ was saying. It's the single mother part is one thing, but the most triggering thing to me was that you're trying to take my man. That goes well beyond just singlehood. This is psychological. This is someone, esteem issues, you name it. I mean, the fact that she's coming to that conclusion, you're only saying this because you're trying to take my man, as if, one, how can her daughter be competition? And if she is competition, then why are you even with him? So again, this is deeper than just her being a single mom. I agree with JT though when he was talking about how a lot of women are dating as if they don't have any kids, or have no boundaries. Like, be very cautious about at what point in time do you start to introduce your boyfriend around your children and whatnot. When did that even take place? Is there kind of standard? So I think there's a way it could be done. But I think in this case here, just by that very statement, I already know that wasn't done. But one thing when I heard the conversation, one thing I found interesting was, now again, I came to these in this environment, listening to KS, and I remember that one thing he would always used to ask of women with children is, what if this situation occurred?
Come on, Mr.
Who
Bennett.
were you going to believe? Were you going to believe your daughter? The premise was that oftentimes that a daughter can lie. But who you going to roll with? If you're going to believe your daughter over your man, then again, why would a man even sign up for that? So, I don't think he was, necessarily talking in this case specifically, where it just seems to be a legitimate where, the man is doing something. But that was a conversation that was being had, as almost as if to say, well, if a woman sides with her daughter over her man, then there's something wrong with the woman for choosing her daughter over the man. So I think that can go to a far other side also. And we're seeing this case here, but that's not the case.
I mean,
this is the thing. It can still get to that case, and it does get to that case. So that's a common theme where you have men that's going out here because it ain't his daughter that's out here touching these doggone little women. The flip side of it is that because the daughter don't like the relationship her mother is having with another man, guess what she does? She can lie on him. It's really messed up. These situations are very unnatural. Very
so, but how do you choose? As so you're the woman. How do you then decide? How do you make that choice? That's what I'm saying. You're darned if you do and darned if you don't.
It's not impossible. Go ahead, brother JT.
You don't date when you have teenage kids.
You don't bring them home. You don't bring them home.
Yeah, you don't bring them home.
Don't bring them home. I would agree.
You don't bring them home. You got to protect your children. You don't bring them home.
But it's a part where you can't. What I'm talking about, dating. Normally, when you're dating, you're trying to get closer to the next person. The problem is that this is not what's happening. It goes to having so many lonely ass women out here that's going to take anything. Look at what she said to her daughter. He's a good man. He pays the bills over here. You ain't about to fuck this up. Do you know how many women that got that going on right now?
I mean, again, this ain't new though. Look at the color purple. Look at the color purple. Look at the color purple. Look at all that other shit out there, man. Like, look at what's going on. Like, look at Precious. I mean, because you got a woman who's like, or a man for that matter. I'm a single dad. In order for me to go out and be with someone else, someone has to stay home with my daughter, right? So, like, well, I'm gonna go get me a female babysitter, right? That should be good, right? How many ladies? Y'all tell me. How many ladies are predators when it comes to young female children?
Exactly. R. Kelly.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it's a, like what Brother JT was saying. Like, you got to make that sacrifice. Like, I can't. It's going to be virtually impossible to date, and I can't bring anyone home. Right? And I got to make. And it's like, well, if you ain't got family to look after your child, and some people's families, they're related to monsters. So it's just a really tough call. And it's something you got to give up. But here's the point I wanted to bring up next, though. How many women out there got 18, 19-year-old daughters, and they sleeping with the daughter's boyfriend?
Yes, exactly, bro. I've seen those.
Wait. Repeat that again.
I got some slight pushback, but
so
go ahead.
I seen a video of a woman walking in with her 20-year-old boyfriend, 19-year-old boyfriend, and the mama in there stroking him out. And she say, "Mama, you in here fucking my man?"
Okay, him out.
And her mama say, "I'm your mama. You're not gonna raise your voice at me." And she right in the bed with a whole dude, bro.
So she is in fact competing with her younger self. She's competing with her child.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
It's way more common. It's way more common than people even say it is. Again, I'm gonna go back to what CJ was saying. So what do we do? Because ain't nobody out there shaming these women. They wait till it's all said and done.
Facts.
They wait till it's all said and done. By time they even tell somebody that actually can listen, they grown already.
That's why it's hard to
That
shame
man
them.
might be dead.
You can't shame something we don't know about. It's after the fact.
There you go.
But
So-
isn't part of the answers that we're coming to? It depends on how
Let
you
me
buy
tell you
into the
something.
story.
And now this is the thing. In my lifetime, I gotta say this. All the women that I've ever came in contact with, this family members, girls I dated, all kind, at least 85 to 90% of them has been touched in their life. At least that I know.
By someone close to him a lot of times too.
Hey,
a lot of times it's
a lot of times it's somebody. It's a lot of times it's someone close to him, family members in the life.
But guess what the common denominator is?
No men and fathers in the house.
Daddy ain't there.
Yeah, I was about to get to that.
And you know what? I'll say this real quick.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, my ex-wife we had this conversation when we were married, and she didn't tell me for a while, but she ended up breaking down and telling me one day, right? And she said when she was a little girl, around 10 years old, her mom used to go out in yard sale every Saturday. And she said they would drive in from Mississippi, from Vicksburg to Louisiana, and they would pull in. The uncle say, "I'm gonna stay here." The mama and the sister would go in yard sale and leave my, at the time, wife at the house when she was 10, 11, right? So she said the uncle used to start touching on her, kissing on her neck, blah, blah, blah. She said she went to her mom and said, "Mama, he touching on me," basically. Same thing that what the title says tonight. And she said her mama said, "Shut your fucking mouth. You always trying to get some goddamn attention. Shut your ass up. You know that man is not fucking touching you." So they came again. He did it to her again and again. And she said as she got older, she just allowed it. She said she didn't fight him no more. She just allowed it. She said he was bigger. He was stronger. She just got tired of fighting him. She said it went from one thing to another. And then she said around 15 years old, that's when he started penetrating.
Hold on.
And she said, and that's when I'm just giving it real. We unfiltered here, right? Let's get it real. She said 15, he started having sex with her, and she just would sit there and allow it.
And this crosses all communities, y'all. This ain't a black problem.
Very
Black
much so.
David. That's what
That
I
is
was
true.
gonna say to Black David. Like, cut that African shit out right now. Like that shit happens everywhere.
And they got movies about this shit. If you go look at Lifetime, oh my God. I woke up to a Lifetime movie, and the little girl was sitting at the table with her daddy, mama, brother at the table. She said, "Dad, can I go to the dance tonight?" The mama said, "No, you're not going. Your grades are horrible." And the little girl under the table put her foot under the table and put her foot on her daddy's dick, start massaging his dick. And she said, "Daddy, can I go to the dance tonight?" He said, "Yeah, you can go."
And bro,
They have movies about this shit.
Bro,
Let me tell you one thing that's
hold on.
always. Oh, go ahead.
Hold
CJ.
on, bro, because I just did a show talking about stepfathers and single mothers and stuff like that today, and why. First off, we have to value fathers more. This is why I talk about this the way that I do, right? Because when I was going through the situation of fighting for custody for my daughter, I was fighting, bro. I wasn't sitting around, "Oh, I'll never get to see my daughter." I had to wait till things were done before I could see her, right? And this woman is allowing this man that she's been dating for maybe 6 to 8 months for my daughter to call him dad.
Oh, man.
And doesn't understand why I'm spazzing the fuck out. And then on top of that, you will have other women in the community that say, "Well, you left," not knowing if she left me or not. That's what I'm talking about. It's not just as simple as the nuclear family in its entirety. It's really about having a value for the man's position, because I protect my daughters in a way you cannot think of as a woman. That's what we got to get to. That's my whole goddamn problem, because that man might not be in the house. How you don't know that woman didn't try to stalk him and kill him? The father. You don't know what she did. all we gonna look at is he ain't there, so it must be his goddamn fault. That's what we getting at, bro. I'm done. Because I'm gonna go off.
And you know, and hold on, but CJ, let me add to that, because the whole time when my ex was saying it to her mom, she said for years she just didn't say nothing. She allowed it, whatever. Now I'm married to this woman, and she's saying to me, I told her, I said, ma'am, and Queen Smile, you know the guy, you know our daddy, because he lived right there in Rayville. But she said, my mom told me my daddy wasn't this, my daddy wasn't that. He didn't come see me. He didn't pay child support. He was a deadbeat dad. She said, but you know what, baby? I've always wanted to have a relationship with my dad. I said, well, have one. I said, matter of fact, I'm gonna take you over there. When you want to go? It took about a month and a half before she got it right. We finally go over there and talk to this man. Guys, when I tell you this man sat at the table, when he saw her, he hugged her with a damn embrace that I've never seen. I said, damn, this a deadbeat? He hugging her. Sit down, baby. Oh my God, I ain't seen you since the pictures. You don't come around since you've been an adult. You know why? Blah, blah, blah. She said, because mama told me. Mama told me. Mama told me. Mama told me. He said, okay, listen, I didn't pay child support. He said, because I gave your mama. He said, look at this. He said, these are the copies of the money orders over the years. He kept the shit. These are the money orders that I've given your mama over the years. She said, I never gave you anything. And my wife at that time was sitting there just crying, right? He said, look at this. I'm gonna show you something on my back. He raised his shirt up, burn marks on his back. He said, that's when your mama threw the grease on me. This is when your mama cut me. This is when your mama hit me across the head with this. This is where this scar came from. And the entire time for years, we got to do a show called Mama Told Me. Because these mothers will tell their daughters that the man ain't shit, just like CJ just alluded to. And you don't know what happened. She was verbally, physically harming this man. He said he told her, I would come in the house and she would throw grease on me because I come in 10 minutes late. She thought I was cheating on her. He said I'm supposed to be at the house at 6 o'clock. If I come to the door at 6:10, she throwing hot water, hot grease on me.
She removes the ability for me to protect my baby.
So he left and she told him, since you gone, don't talk to me and you're not going to see your child.
That's why it's not as simple as, well, go fight. Bitch, if another bitch tell me that, bro, I ain't going to lie to you, bro. It's going to be a problem because when they tell me shit like that, you're not understanding. I'm trying. But in that time, while I'm trying, I'm missing time. I'm not able to talk to my daughter. I'm not able to protect her. But that doesn't seem to matter. That's how this happens. And let's not put it on women like it's all women fault. That's not where I'm trying to go. But that's how girls are unprotected. That's how, not black women, black girls are the most unprotected on this planet, bro. That's a fact.
Right.
Well, hold on.
Jake,
I would say
go ahead, JT. I want to respond to something you said earlier, though. Go ahead.
Children.
Right.
Children.
Yeah.
Because
happens to boys
what's not
too.
being talked about.
Yeah.
What's not being talked about is the boys that's being sexually assaulted.
Shout out to the Catholic Church.
Right. And you know what though? And it definitely, and I'm gonna say this because I ain't gonna just leave my ex out there. It happened to me too. I've told this story. I smiled about it in y'all face, but it definitely happened to me too. Very young, 48, 49-year-old woman. And I thought it was the best time of my life until somebody told me when I was older, you were molested. Because I didn't look at it. I looked at it like shit. I had an older girlfriend.
Yeah, honestly, I mean,
right? And we had this conversation.
Yeah. And I told Justin, I said, I don't see what your complaint is at that age.
Men and boys and girls are different, and I get that.
It's wrong.
When you're at that age, you're not gonna look. When you're that age, like he was 14. 14-year-old kid ain't gonna complain about having sex.
Hold on, real quick.
Not with a woman, bro. Not with a woman.
No,
but that don't matter. That don't matter.
That's not the
issue.
Wrong. That's not the issue.
You got to protect.
That's not the issue. That's not the issue. The issue is this: at 14 years old, you fuck around and fall in love with somebody.
Yeah,
like that.
That's true.
There's no fucking way that shit would tear your ass up.
Mm-hmm.
You will fall in love. It's the same way. Look. They have no business messing with children. Period.
I agree.
Especially when it comes down to
It's just the way that the little boy is going to handle it different than the little boy. But here's the thing, though. Our society has a big role to play in this because when you go to family court and there's no marriage or anything like that, the default should be 50-50 when it comes to custody. At least you get an opportunity to be involved half the time.
He's a deadbeat if he doesn't want it. That's my whole thing. If he don't
And there
want
you go.
it, it's solved. But that's not the. But look, I want to speak to the point that Mandrell was just making. I understand what Mandrell is saying because I was the 14-year-old boy that went through it myself. But you're supposed to, as a society, as my parents, as my so-called neighborhood, you're supposed to protect me from my own self. We do that with girls to a degree. We don't even do a fucking good job of that, in my opinion. But we definitely, even older men will say what Mandrell said, and I get Mandrell, but the point is, God damn it, that girl liked that older dick too. Y'all gotta quit acting like that's not true. She liked that older man just like we like that older woman.
Okay, I don't know. I can't co-sign that, brother.
Let me tell you. Somebody's got a daughter that's fresh out of high school, went into college. My daughter said that to my wife and I. She said it. She said there are girls at her school when she was 16 years old. She came home. I'm so glad that baby could come home and talk to me. Jesus, I'm glad I'm not a horrible parent where she couldn't talk to me. She said, Daddy, there are girls at school that are my age, 15 and 16 years old, talking about what teacher they didn't had sex with. One girl said she having sex with her damn neighbor. She said her mama worked graveyard. The daddy, the lady across the street, she's a nurse, so she works nights. She said, when my mom had work,
heard this before.
She said, I'm going over to this man's house and I'm having sex with him in their bed, and he get his nut, I get mine, I come back over and get in my bed and go to sleep. This is my daughter telling me the girls at school, they're not talking about who eating Skittles. They talking about the grown men. Then they talk, me and my daughter said, one girl said, girl, I don't, so there was like some boy liked her, some boy her age. She was like, girl, I don't deal with them little boys. She said, I like big dick.
Well, brother CJ, I stand correct. I stand corrected, brother CJ. I stand corrected. I guess it is the same.
You know why people? So you know the people that actually get that. That's these folks that's actually out here in these schools, especially these high schools, that's doing it. Counselors, gym teachers,
exactly.
ROTC teachers,
art teachers,
art teachers. All these folks that got a lot of goddamn time. The goddamn what's that other goddamn the music teacher, band teacher.
Hey, JT,
they definitely do it. Especially when you got a large band and they always traveling. Them teachers getting
JT, I got a problem with.
That's how bad it is.
I got to push back on that and something else you had said earlier. Not 100% pushback. If it's all the teachers, if that's who they are, if that's the narrative you put out, what you gonna do with the kids? Leave them at home all day?
No, it's not even that. It's not.
No,
that
I'm just saying there's good teachers.
Teachers are fucking kids, though.
No,
teachers are fucking kids.
No, I'm aware. I was a teacher before, but I'm just saying the narrative still got to go out that it can't just be these people are doing that. Just like earlier we're talking.
Look at the demographic, bro. The demographic is these kids don't have a time to be at home. They don't have there's no boundaries with these kids. They could be anywhere. They got a lot of time. They don't have, like myself, dude. I didn't have no free time. I didn't have free time between going to a job, working, a band, and sports, and doing all these things. I had no time to be sitting there with some damn teacher. I barely got a chance to see my girlfriend.
No, JT, hear me out. We also agree. We also agree that the uncovered. I'll pretty much say 90-something% of the women that have told me they've been perved, touched, whatever, there was no father, there was no brother, there was no one around. It was all women. The chain, and it's sad that Black Man was talking about the graveyard shift thing, because in the same chain where I was talking about the daughter, mother, granddaughter, mother, grandmother, in that same family, or in that same genealogy, somewhere there was the grandmother had three daughters, teenagers. Next door neighbors, 3 teenage boys. Both single parents worked the same job at the same time. What do you think was going on at night?
You right.
3 on 3, and it won't basketball. Every night.
Until somebody get pregnant.
No men.
Yeah, exactly.
All 3 got pregnant.
Yep, there you go.
And you know what's messed up, though? In the world we live in now, shit, it could be 3 girls over here and 3 girls over there.
Yeah, same thing. One more thing.
Same shit.
When you say don't date, people who got kids don't date. If they don't date, the next best thing from father or from whatever is stepfather. Let's say you got an 8-year-old, 10-year-old, and you're a woman. Now you desperately need the best man you can get in the house to protect. Yes,
Stop
you
being
must
selfish. Right. Stop being selfish and pick what you
So
need.
it can't be, no, I'm going to wait till they get. No, if you have the opportunity, if you're not 800 pounds and wigified, get the $40,000 a year man at AutoZone.
But Brother Dusto, let me push back just a little bit on that. I hear you. Let me push back just a little bit on that. You got to understand that we live in a very trying time. A lot of technology and all that, but there are dudes out there who are hunting women for their kids.
Facts.
You're right, but
that guy the Starbucks, or that guy that's managing the Walmart or whatever. He sees you coming in there with your 12, 13, 14, 15. She almost ready. 16-year-old, okay. And now, you start to show the slightly overweight, less unattractive. What do they say? They hit the wall or whatever, and they realize they're not as attractive as they used to be. And now that guy's like, I got a shot to get into the camp. I'm the wolf. Let me put on this little sheep outfit. Let mom think I'm into her. Let me get mom her attention going and all that. She wrapped up on me. But his real mission is to get that little girl or boy. It's not, you know what I mean? Let's keep it 100. His real intention is just to get into your camp.
Well, DL, truthfully, 500 single moms, let's say in Florida, should they stay alone and leave their kids unprotected?
They stay alone.
Stay alone and leave all the daughters unraised, unprotected, no identity, running the streets. That's
if you see what these numbers
chance.
is, Dusto, if you see what these numbers is, bro, we're gonna have to pull the numbers.
No, what I'm saying is most of them unprotected.
Best bet is to stay your ass alone. Or
I'm not buying it.
Or let me tell you, get married when you got the chance to get married, and quit waiting so goddamn late. Quit fucking somebody and having a kid by him, and then now you don't want to be with him before the kid is even born.
No,
stop doing that type of
I'm
shit.
talking after the fact.
Then you better understand what's going to come with this, because it's not conducive in these times and days right now. You can't even tell the difference between a woman and a man right now. How the hell can they tell the difference between somebody that's a good person and all that shit? Just because the devil don't show you his horns. That motherfucker can be a really nice guy.
No, JT.
Paying all the bills, like on that video.
No, JT, 35-year-old woman, 100% submissive, cooperative, all them other talking points. Is she better off marrying you or playing in the streets and staying single? Would you protect her?
She ain't better off dating me because I'm not dating her.
Okay.
I'm not dating her.
Mandrell, she better off marrying you or just playing in the streets?
We get off marrying me.
Now somebody, hold on. Somebody just asked
That's
a
my
question
point.
here in my messenger. I ain't gonna say their name. They say don't say my name.
Get your point, Dusto.
The question is, somebody said,
What'd you say, CJ?
what if you meet a woman that's allowing her 18 and 19-year-old daughters to live with her, and they're considered adults? Is it still wrong if a man come in and do that?
Legally, it's not illegal. It's not illegal, but is it morally wrong? Yeah, it's absolutely morally wrong. But again, that might be his game. That might be his hustle. And that's the thing. How many women are out there using their young girls, daughters, as bait?
R. Kelly.
I mean, seriously, how many women out there doing that? So,
you still got to understand the dynamics. It's not just one-sided. The man has a problem. It's a problem with him too. He gets in there. That girl don't like him. She don't like the relationship the mama having.
Agreed.
He touched.
Agreed. I get that. But to Brother Dusto's point, and I'm with Brother CJ on this too. Like I get your point, Brother Dusto. I really do. Mm-hmm. I wish I had an answer. I don't. But I would simply say, like when people ask me like why am I single? How come I haven't brought anybody in? Because my daughter ain't 18 yet.
Okay.
When I'm done raising my child, then I'm gonna get out here and do what I got to do. In the meantime, I got a lot on my plate. You know what I mean? I got a lot to look out for. You know what I mean? Again, I'm thinking of this stuff like, what people do for attention, men and women. Mm-hmm. What are they willing to do when people truly understand where they at? What are they willing to do to get that guy or to get that girl? And how do the children play into it? Especially when they're teenage children. You know what I mean? Like it gets you 14, 15, 16 years old and up. I wish I had answers, brother. I don't know. This is a deep conversation.
I get it. There is a risk, but the solution is a man.
There's risk, and it's about
the solution is a man. That's the solution. Not any man. Some of them are pervisors. Small percentage. Not like 80% of the men are out hunting but there is a risk. They put themselves in a bad situation. But the solution to 97% of women problems is this thing called a man. And even in this scenario.
But it goes back to, and that Pervisor thing was really save that Pervisor for another less heavy topic, because that was funny. I just don't feel like laughing right now because this shit's serious. Because we've all been through this. We've all know someone. This touches each and every one of us. You know what I mean? To the heart, right to the core.
Right. And all of us want the problem solved. Everybody on this panel, probably everybody in the chat.
But we always ask, listen, man, we always ask, because we talk about relationships all the time. And we always ask these questions on how do we fix certain things. And my biggest thing, and I've been doing it on my platform, on this platform, and every other platform, men got to be more, we got to be more selective. And one of the things is that you have to be careful when you, I'm not saying that you just don't date any woman with children, but you got to be very selective, and you got to be serious about what it is that you're doing. You better know what you're getting yourself involved in. You better be proactive all the way through. Most men and most women are not proactive. They get into a relationship and they think that the relationship itself is going to take care of itself, and it doesn't.
That's true.
When you get into a relationship with, even if a woman gets into a relationship with men, it's a dynamic that you still got to get. And if his kids is living with him, the kids might not like the relationship that man is having with that woman, so they're gonna say that she's treating them bad or whatever. If she got other kids, it's some fucked up dynamics that's out here when we're dating. So we have to be very selective, and if we want people to start changing, we have to change first. We have to start being selective. They're saying that being a single mom is a great thing. That's what I have a problem with.
Well,
if we got single moms, it's no problem with it, but it's a problem when you start saying that this is the way to go. When we are seeing that the ones that's really being the ones that's being hurt are the children are being hurt.
And
No,
so
we have to get to
real
a
quick,
point where
guys,
we say,
before we continue. Guys, thank you for being here. We got 40 people watching right now, 25 likes. Everybody that's watching right now, go ahead and hit that like button. If this is your first time here, I see a few new names in here. Please hit that subscribe button. That helps with the algorithm as well. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and also share this content. This is a serious and deep conversation that affects our community. So please hit the like button, subscribe button. I appreciate it. We're at 25 likes. Let's get it up to like 40 because that will be great for the channel and for the algorithm. Now, I do want to say this, and if you want to give to the channel, also you can give a super chat. Preferably, you can give a Cash App as well. You see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Now, I want to give final thoughts, and the reason for that is this, because I know it's getting deeper. But the reason that I want to give final thoughts is because this show is a segue into the show that we're talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow's subject, or tomorrow's show is what happens in this house stays in this house. And it's going into what we're actually talking about right now. You know, what's being accepted, what is allowed in the household. Some of the moms may know what's going on. Some of the dads may know what's going on. Some of the dads may be with their own daughters. We ain't even got to that. Some dads are with their own blood daughters. Some moms are with their own blood sons. Their biological sons, right? I saw an article the other day, and I'm going to have it for the show tomorrow. I saw an article the other day that a woman says, I am in love with my daughter, and my daughter is in love with me. And they're in a relationship. They're having sex. They're together. They're an item. They're a couple. So that started, I guarantee you that started young. But we're definitely going to address that. Because this is some of the stuff that we need to talk about that's in the community. Yes, relationships is fine. We talk about that. Yes, we talk about the women, the men, and the other. But now I think we should start talking about the kids, the safety of the kids. Why are we having sex? I don't know who said this on the panel one time. Somebody said, and I remember, it stuck with me. Is the person you're having sex with, or you want to have a little fling with, do you see that being the father of your child, or do you see her being the mother of your child?
I said that.
JT said that.
JT said it.
Yeah.
Damn it. And when you have these kids and you just imagine, I'm gonna tell you this, growing up, I saw it. Queen Smiler, come on now. When mom was
Look, you see my mouth closed, I got 1,001 words I can say.
Man, back in the day, in the town we grew up in, when women wanted to go out and they were single moms, they'll leave them goddamn kids with Uncle Earl, Uncle Charlie. They'll just throw them in the house and go. Didn't give a damn if their daughters was getting touched. All we want to do is have fun, go get some dick.
Or even leave them by themselves.
And leave them by themselves. I remember, I think it was in Monroe, Queen, so you may remember it. Woman went out to the club, left her kids there by herself with their blind ass granddaddy, House burned down, all of them dead.
I worked for CPS at the time.
Oh, you remember?
I
All
worked for
of them
Child Protective
died
Services
in
for
the
13
house.
years.
How can a blind grandfather find kids in the dark and he blind and the house is blazing?
So, Queen, can I ask you a question then?
Yes, sir.
Again, you don't have to give any information that's protected or whatever, but just based on this concept, because we've been talking about this idea of risk. You know, there's risk if you leave the woman single until the kids are grown, or if you marry them, you know, while the kids, so a man's there. Just some of the things that we're saying, just percentage-wise, is this as prevalent as we're painting it to be, or is it maybe not that? It doesn't have that often, but just the severity of it, it makes it seem bigger than what it is.
So
I mean,
it's
since
a bit
you
of
work
both.
with this on the ground, you have
So
experience.
it's a bit of both, and like everybody's saying, we all know this in our communities. And when I say in our communities, I'm talking about, you know, it in your small community, right? Black men know it in the small town of Rabel. I know it in that town. I know it in Monroe. CJ know it in his community. Everybody on this panel know that this happened either in their family, directly, or in their close-knit communities, right? And so, yes, it's definitely prevalent. But at the same time, like I said, it's a little bit of both. Because in regards to women, I'm a single mom. I've been a single mom dating now, but I was a single mom for quite a long time. But I also married young too, and I married young for that reason, because I was fearful of any other man being around my children. It's my first two were girls, so my oldest two were girls, and I was afraid to death somebody touching them. And then when I first started working at CPS, I was even afraid for my brothers to hug my children, for my uncles to hug, for them to be out in the community. I was married, and one time my daughter used too much soap, and I was about ready to burn the damn house down, because I'm like, what's the problem? You know, what's wrong with you? You know, and I'm thinking somebody touched her, and it was just literally too much soap. That's how afraid I was as a parent. So when I divorced, like y'all said on this panel, it took me the longest of time to bring somebody around my children that I truly trust. My girls are grown now. I literally have one kid left at home, and I really did not seriously date until my children were old enough to come to me and say, hey, and my kid, I made sure my daughters, we had a relationship where they would bring to me, hey, I got a problem with this. I got a problem with that. Heck, even if I tried to date somebody and they parked in front of the house and I stood outside to talk to them, because literally I treated myself like I was a child to a certain extent. You know, you coming up to my house, I'll stand out here on this curb and talk to you. I meet you at the corner and chat with you. But you're not welcomed in my home. My kids would even come to the door and rush me. You know what I'm saying? I walk through Walmart and my girls will be walking with me, and a man look at me, eyes front, mister, that's my mama. You know? So we protected each other because we love each other so. Okay? So I took that very serious, you know, as a single mom, so I wouldn't have to have that problem, because I'm going to jail. I don't know about anybody else. I don't mind if that's what it takes. I know I'll be leaving my children out there, but I'm going for mine. Right. And so that was a real hard time for me. In me having boys, it's the same way for my boys, because now here it is, I have the problem where men have turned into predators of a different nature. And so even now I'm very selective in where I date, how I date, who I date. That's why I've been single for so long. I'm like, you know, I'm just good, because some of this stuff I just don't have time being I don't have time for those types of issues. But working in CPS, any and everything y'all said on this panel, I've seen it. This situation with this young lady, this ain't new to me. Literally multiple times. I didn't think for the longest incest happened in Black families. No offense to white people, I could have swore that was the only race that happened in, until I started working for CPS. And then I start seeing it in the Black community, and I'm like, God dog, now this is scary. And so I really had a problem with those parents and those single moms that swear they had good men, because of course in that community where we're from, small community, you either had a guy that had a good job or you had a dope boy. You know, those were the two men with the money. Am I right, Black man?
Exactly.
either a dope boy or you worked at the gym somewhere, you had a good job. And so if you found one of them guys, those guys easily take advantage not only of the women, but of the children. And I've seen mothers say, you know what? Well, get out of my house because she fast. She's 6. She fast, and she the reason why. Literally, I've worked cases where infants' guts were busted. Okay? Infants. You 7 and 8 months old. Okay? And now you've been deleted, and this woman is arguing that he couldn't have done that. You out your freaking mind. Like, that's why I ain't got no whole bunch of words to say. I'll get real pissed off at this.
Yeah. So again, guys,
I quit my job because after a year, I quit because I couldn't finish typing a case.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of burnout in the industry. I got folks who
not burnout. That's post-traumatic stress disorder. That's PTSD. Right. Call it what it is, people.
Exactly.
There's a lot of
Let me
burnout
say this
there.
real quick. For the sponsor of the show tonight, Sir Hill Speaks with the $49.99 super chat, and also a member of Black Man Unfiltered Network. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir. I do want to say this. One of the biggest things for me, and I know CJ, this is one of your hot points too that gets you all riled up. One of the things that I hear is y'all should just vet better. The biggest trick the devil played on anybody is what? Convincing people he did not exist.
That he didn't exist. That's the greatest trick in the world.
And so when people say vet better, I hate punk niggas. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep myself. I hate when dudes and female and be vet better. I'm so sick of the fucking vet word. I want to punch everybody in the face that say it.
Don't punch me because I say that a lot, but this is different.
You can say
but we give the how to.
Yes,
they don't.
You can say
they just use it as a buzzword.
Right. You can say vet all day long, but how many people are walking in Satan's footsteps when they playing the biggest trick on you, and the biggest trick he ever done was convincing people it didn't exist. Well, these men out here throwing extra game. I'm a good looking dude. I dress well. I look good. I smell good.
I'm in the church.
I'm gonna be a leader.
I'm in the church.
Yeah, I'm a man of God. I'm gonna come in. My hair gonna be faded right. I'm gonna smell good. I'm gonna throw some good dick on you. I'm gonna marry you. You're gonna be my fiance. I'm gonna make you my wife, and then get in the house while you gone. And he planning your daughter pussy while you at the grocery store.
And incidentally, Black Man.
Hold on, man. Just let me finish. Yeah. And then on the flip side of that, the women, same shit. Oh, I'm a good woman. Oh, you got 2 kids. Oh, your kids are beautiful. Oh my God, I can't wait to be a stepmom. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. I want to spend some time with them. I want to take them out shopping. I want to do this. I want to do that. And while you gone, she's sucking your son dick, or she eating your daughter pussy, or she got your daughter in there looking at her naked while she taking a bath, or looking at your son dick while he in the shower. But we talking about vet. People disguise who they are. Ain't nobody gonna come up to nobody when they dating and talking about, well, you know what? Let me think about something. Let me tell you something about me. I like little kids. Who the fuck gonna tell you that at dinner? How are you gonna know they do it? All this, listen, I'm like Queen Smiley, bro. I get pissed off real quick on this shit, bro. Please don't. I don't want to hear nobody else say nothing to me about no goddamn vetting. People hide who they are. And they play tricks on you. They the worshipers of the devil. They play the trick on you. The biggest, I'm gonna say it one more time and I'm done. The biggest trick the devil ever played was convincing people he did not exist. And that's how these predators are. They're the same way.
Yeah, well, the thing is, what I was about to say is, John Wayne, because I studied serial killers, right? John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy. All those are the big 3.
Son of Sam.
Yeah, those are big 3. Son of Sam. But the big 3: John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, and Jeffrey Dahmer. Son of Sam too. They all seem like pillars of the community, unassuming. You never think that they do that. Like John Wayne Gacy, he was convicted of like 36 murders. You know what I'm saying? But this guy had a picture with the first lady,
congressman.
The guy was in bed with a congressman. The congressman never knew. The staff never knew. No one knew this guy was like that. So the thing is, when it comes to this vetting business, nobody actually know.
It's the dumbest shit ever. And the most
you don't actually know.
The most people talking about vetting is the single people. The single people. If you're vetting so much, then why don't you have the perfect person in your life instead of you being single or rubbing your dry ass dick every night by yourself and you ain't got no wife, or vice versa.
Right.
If your vetting is so perfect, why you ain't the perfect example of your marriage or relationship, and you showing the world what a marriage and relationship look like if you the best vetter in the world? Shut the fuck, get the fuck out of here with that, man. I'm not even trying to hear it, bro. I'm not even trying to hear it, man.
And this is why I do come very strong. And this is why I was saying what I was saying, Dusto. Dude, I've been living long enough. I've dated many, vastness of women. And one of my biggest problems with women that had children was that they did not take care of their children well. They were leaving them when they wasn't supposed to be leaving them. The children was having problems in school. It was all kind of crazy shit that they were not paying attention. I'm like, you don't have enough time for me. I want you to go and take care of your kids. You ain't got no time for me. You can't give me what I need because you're in a position that you have to be a mother to those children. Number two, where the hell is their father? Where's their father? If I don't meet their father, guess what? We definitely can't have a relationship. Now, if he dead or whatever, okay, I better know his family. I better know brothers and sisters and uncles. I better know somebody. But if they don't take out the time to do, it's a lot of tedious things that you have to do in these type of relationships. I agree with you, black man. That vetting, just talking that vetting shit is bullshit. But if we're talking about being in a business of vetting, do you know how tedious this shit gotta be? You know how uncomfortable it has to be?
Almost perfect.
You gotta be damn near perfect to do it.
Right.
That's why we have to tell people the message is you do not go out here and just willy-nilly just start having 5-6 kids with 5-6 different men. This crazy as hell what they're doing. And if you're doing that, okay, I ain't tripping off of it, but you can't date me. And other men should say the same thing, and other women should say the same thing. When you ain't getting your shit together. Remember, they were saying get your shit together, but wasn't nobody telling you how to get your shit together? It wasn't just money. Get your shit together with your life. Get your shit together with your loved ones. And this is why we have the problems that we have, and people feel like that we're in this circle. But no, we're in a spiraling circle because people don't want to do what's necessary.
Right.
It's necessary when you have kids and those kids live with you that you have to be at a point where you say, I'm a mother or I'm a father before I'm any of the rest of this shit. Now, once my kids get to a point where they don't need me anymore, it may not be at 18. It may not be.
Yeah, and to add to that, if you are a man out there, because we want to talk about solutions, if you are a man out there and you're dating a woman with 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old daughters, I advise you, as a man, CYA motherfucker, cover your ass. I would have fucking have fucking Ring cameras in every goddamn room, in the laundry room, the garage, outside, driveway. I have a motherfucking Ring camera on the goddamn mailbox, backyard, on the shed, everywhere we walk and exposed to. I would give her full ma'am. Here go the phone. Here go a tablet right here. This tablet is only for you to go back and look at Ring. The kids can't get in it. Nothing. This will you to go back and look and see what's going on in this house. And when your daughter hate the fact that I'm loving on you and she's jealous and mad that she can't spend time with you like she used to because you spending time with me, and she tell you he touched me, go to 8:55 p.m. on that goddamn Ring camera and see what happens. When she say I touched you.
But you even have to be careful even with your own kids though, because me just having 3 daughters, and there were many times when their friends were over. They did the sleepovers and whatnot, and quite frankly, I would get out of Dodge. For me, that was a time to be out with the boys.
Yep, I agree.
I would go overnight. There's one time, in fact, there was a miscommunication with my friends, and somehow I couldn't get together with them. I still didn't go home. I slept in my car all night long and did not go home. And I called my wife in the morning and I said, are the girls gone? This is when they were 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. I did not go home.
You got to do.
Shit you got to do.
So this is, again, my daughter, so this is some step situation. But this was something when they had sleepovers, we didn't deprive them, that kind of stuff. But I told my wife, I said, look, that's the time. I don't necessarily, I'll be here initially to help you set up or whatnot, but around bedtime or whatever, or when it gets later, when they're all squared away, I'm out.
Yeah, two things. Oh, go ahead, brother CJ. Go ahead, brother CJ.
I ain't gonna be long, bro. But the single fathers that neglect their kids for some ass, I'm gonna speak about that too, because I've been in situations with a woman that when she wants to spend time with me and I'm with my daughter and they said things like, damn, I know I ain't gonna be able to hear from you today because you always with your daughter. Cut immediately. Because people because people like that will do any fucking thing in any situation to manipulate you or manipulate your daughter and X your fucking kid out. That happens all the time, but nigga keep talking to her because her ass fat.
And look at this, y'all. Look at this. T. Shaw said, thank you, T. Shaw, for being here.
Word.
Everybody in the chat, y'all undefeated, man. The show is about to end in about 5 minutes. But I want to read what T. Shaw said here. T. Shaw said, because girls will lie. My ex-neighbor is in prison now because he was sleeping with a 17-year-old. And when he decided to stop, she said he raped me. He ended up deleting her right before the trial.
I mean, you got that. And brother Andre put in the chat when I said what I said about, Black Man was on his rant and I was like the church. And he was like, well, I'm talking about the synagogue. I'm talking about all religions. Earlier tonight, I said the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? I don't understand why people believe that evil isn't in the church.
It's definitely.
I don't understand why people think that. I don't understand why church. If I go into a hospital, I plan to find sick people. If I go into a church, I plan to find sinners.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just stating it how it is, brother. Like, just like Brother Terry. Yeah, Brother Terry. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that. And I'm gonna save my other comments for the final thoughts. But I'm not just picking on the black church. I'm not just picking on the Catholic Church. I'm picking on all of them. And I tell you what, you'd be hard pressed to find hardcore Muslims, men who are doing this, because Sharia law ain't no joke. And guess what? They doing it over here. You know what I mean? They doing it over here. So when you start talking about, I'm not, I'm not a part of the Islamic faith and all that kind of stuff, but I fought the men who are. And I'm here to tell you, those are serious-minded individuals. Go ahead and say something bad about the prophet.
Right.
Them jokers over there mean what they say.
Young girl.
My boy Black David in the chat. The thing that I disagree with what Black David said, which I'll have Black David on another day to discuss this because we're about to have final thoughts. But it's that we're always blaming it on the black culture. Nigga, it's white men out here banging their daughters up. It's white women out here molesting their stepsons every day. We can't just say that's just the black culture.
They got porn categories.
Dog, you just had my man a couple of years ago, about 6 years ago, the dude that played that damn movie that admitted to his wife that he molested them little girls.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about.
And he still they can't get him. Why? Because he went to another
Seven
country.
Heaven is his name. The guy that played the daddy on Seven Heaven. You're absolutely correct.
And the man that had his daughters pregnant in the basement.
Yeah, for years.
What about you of
That dude was in the UK, right?
All them damn girls.
Yeah, he was in the UK. He was in the UK. That was real. And here's the thing: there's a movie out there, guys. If y'all want to see, if you want to talk about how prevalent this is in all communities, there's a movie out there. It was a Hollywood movie, really good movie. The center story was about this. It was about incest. The name of the movie is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer.
Hell yeah!
Right. That's what that movie was about.
Yeah, good movie.
And you know what I mean? So, but this is the thing. This is not just a black thing. It's not an Asian thing. It's not a white thing. It's not. Hell, it was something on YouTube I saw about this. I want to say the guy was, maybe he was Thai or Vietnamese or something, on video, inappropriately touching his daughter and got caught. So this is something that it covers. Unfortunately, this is something that everyone's dealing with on planet Earth. It is what it is. The Bible talks about it. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm not a religious man, but I know the stories. I was raised in the traditions. So, and again, I'll save all that for the end.
I'm going to give everybody final thoughts real quick. But before that, when he brought up the Bible, he is absolutely correct. In the Bible, there is a story where Lot was after everything happened to his wife. They thought the world was coming to an end. I guess they thought the men wouldn't exist anymore, and or anything like that. And they said, you know what? The two daughters looked at each other and said, "Let's get daddy drunk."
Mm-hmm. Say that again, Black Man. Say that again. What did they do?
They got daddy drunk.
Wasn't that Noah?
And
no, that was Lot. That was Lot.
They got him drunk, and they both had sex with him.
That's the family that God saved. The one family that God saved from annihilation.
So
God didn't want to save his.
No, wait. Those were the good people in town.
That's not what we talking about, Mandrell. That's not we not getting.
Yeah, and Mandrell, they didn't want to save his
people in town.
Mandrell, gotta understand the scripture didn't want to save his family, wanted to save Lot. But continue,
Right,
brother, Black Man.
Exactly. Yeah, it was Lot. So his name was Steve Collins from Seventh Heaven. Said, yeah, that's his name. That's his name. All right, guys. So I'm gonna give everybody their final thoughts. We're gonna start with my boy DL Saint to get his final thoughts. Give me just a second. Put you up on the big screen here. All right, DL Saint, give us your final words, my brother.
What's up? First of all, as always, thanks for having me on. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. And shout out to Queen Smiley, who's up here with her tiger style, just rocking with the man, just making it happen. You know what I mean? Because you always there. Shout out to you, sister, because I have so much respect for you. Just doing it because a lot of people won't. Final thoughts. We look at the media, right? Over sexualized media, from commercials to video games to movies. Not just grown-ups, but children. Yeah, I know y'all saw that thing on Netflix when they was over-sexualizing these poor young babies, talking about the fashion world and all that. You know what I mean? I never watched the movie. I don't even know the title of it because I don't even like telling people about it because I don't want them to go see it. You know what I mean? So our media is over-sexualized. There's no accountability. Zero accountability. We saw that on the video tonight. This woman sitting around here refusing to be accountable for her child's safety and going to turn around and blame her child for trying to steal her man. Zero accountability, right? People don't want to do the work. It's hard being a parent. Ask any parent. It's hard being a parent. People don't want to do the work. This shit ain't easy. Period. You know what I mean? No one wants to sacrifice anymore. Gone are the days when your parents, when the grown-ups would sacrifice everything for their children. I'm going to make the sacrifice so my children could be successful and my grandchildren could be successful. That shit's gone. Ain't nobody saving money and thinking about their lineage. People get a little money, dudes gonna run out and get themselves a Mercedes, or women gonna run out and try to get them a bag. I'm gonna get me a Birkin bag. You know what I mean? But you ain't gonna put away any kind of money for your child or buy some property so you can leave that to your children. You know what I mean? LGBTQ plus community. Listen, to each his own. I think it's cool, but as a society, we are trying to normalize it. I have a beautiful 13, soon to be 14-year-old daughter. She refuses to acknowledge the fact that she's a girl. She's like, Papa, why do I have to be a boy or girl? Why can't I just be a piece of cheese? I'm like, baby, you could be a piece of cheese, but you're a girl piece of cheese. You were born with girl parts. That's how it works. Now, we may be getting to a reality where you can change that with money or whatever, but you were born with girl parts. Now, I couldn't really get into everything else about testosterone and bone density and all that kind of stuff because she's too young to understand that. We will get into that. Trust me. But we are trying to normalize a friends community. I ain't mad at y'all. If that's how you rock, that's how you rock. I don't care. But that's not normal. And we're confusing the hell out of children at the time they're already confused. You feel me? That's what we're doing as a society. Look at Hollywood. Look at what's going on with Thor. Got to have a female Thor. Got to have a female Black Panther. Got to have a female this, a gay that. They got a gay Superman they was trying to run out there. All that lost money. They losing the geeks. They losing the nerds. Right? All that trying to normalize something that just a small percentage of folks anyway. And then, I want to end it with this. We were talking about Lot and his family and what his daughters did. Again, I'm not practicing anything. I know the stories. I was raised in the faith. You know, when we'll talk about Noah and Lot, you know what I mean? So when Noah built the ark and everybody got washed away, I remember in Sunday school what they taught me as a little bitty baby boy, little baby saint. They were saying, yeah, God used water this time, but next time it's gonna be fire, right? It's gonna be fire. I mean, it was drilled into my head. The next time when people are so wicked that God wants to purge the earth, it's gonna be fire. And I look at what's going on in Ukraine right now with this possibility of some sort of low yield nuclear strikes. If that happens, trust me, y'all, it ain't just gonna be Ukraine. Fire. So I'm gonna end with that. Y'all have a nice day. Thank you, brother, for coming on here. Let me on here.
Appreciate you, brother, man. Hey, listen, I was thinking about, guys, I'm gonna just say it live. I was thinking about having a show I know we have a lot of shows. However, adding another one, because we touch everything but that, what you just talked about. We touch everything but the belief. And I was thinking about having a show and call it what the Bible said, what? And having people on here just talking about it, because there's a lot of people out here that are not believers, which we're not offending them, but the people who are can get some questions answered. Have people on here that can say, okay, this is what it says, and we can dissect what it is and what it says. So, man, just DL saying, if we can have some good discord, I think, with that. So
I'm down, brother. So long as you accept heathens, because I'm number one heathen right here.
I mean, listen, everything. Let me say this. I love when people say that. Don't forget about the heathens. Listen, everybody that did something significant in the Word of God had a problem. Somebody was a womanizer, somebody was a drunk, everybody had an issue biblically.
Someone was a warrior. Yeah, there was a murder led off the cross. Barabbas was led off the cross in place of Jesus. Real talk. There you go. Yeah, I love to talk about that. I know the stories, y'all. I try to live right, but I would love to come on that. Because I would be able to air my grievances with religion versus the faith and the belief. I would love that, bro. Thank you so much. And y'all can find me on DL Saying I Really Want to Know podcast. That's YouTube. I always forget to say where to find me. And then I'm on Instagram. I Really Want to Know podcast, all one word on Instagram. Please hit me up. Brother Andre, bro, I just had to push back a little bit when you said that, man. I am equally not opposed to, but I am equally harsh on all religions except for Islam, man. I give them a wide berth because them boys do not play. The rest of them I can mess with, but that stuff they don't play. And brother Mandrell, because he can talk on that in his closing statement. Thanks for having me, brother. I really appreciate it. Good night to everybody.
Right. Good night to you, brother. All right. Good night to you, man. I appreciate you. All right. We got Mr. Bennett up next. Mr. Bennett, go ahead.
Well, again, very you cross all brothers, bro. You're fearless. In this space, but these are the conversations that need to be had. I think I might want to take it from another way tonight, because I think everyone's going to touch on the topic. But let me talk to those who, if you're with someone, if you're married, you have a stable relationship, you have good kids, just be thankful for that. You can take for granted what you have. You've been happily married for some time, or you have a stable situation. Thank God for that. Be grateful for that. Don't take that for granted. Do the work to keep that going, because every year is a challenge. I'm on my 26th year of marriage, and I say that intentionally because I'm not dependent on the 25 that was prior. I got to deal with what's going on today, what's going on in that circumstance with my family changing rapidly. I got daughters graduating and matriculating through school. We got all kinds of new challenges and things coming up. Our health, we're getting older. So you have to take every year, 1 year at a time. So don't take for granted those who are closest to you. Do the work to keep those things going, because when you hear these things that are going on outside, it's heartbreaking. It is. It's things that we have to deal with. We have to talk about. We have to put on the table. But don't let your own relationships die. Don't let your own relationships think that they're going to go on automatic. Do the things to keep those relationships alive. Tell your kids that you love them. Give your kids that time. Even as adults, give them that time. Give your wife, your husband, give them that time that they need, so you can continue to work on the relationships and keep those family bonds strong. That would be my main takeaway here tonight. In lieu of everything, for those who do have, treasure those things, because at the end of the day, that's really all you have. That's where your real wealth is. Don't let the world tell you that wealth is just about money or having things or whatever, but it's your family, it's your relationships, and making sure that the people who you love, that they're whole and that you're whole. So I would encourage everyone to, just do that check in with everybody. Say, is everything all right with us? Is everything all right with you? If your kids are away at school, call them, say, is everything going on? We need to invest in what's truly our treasure, and that's our legacy. So, but again, thank you for having the conversation tonight. Hard one. Looking forward to the show tomorrow night, where we continue the dialogue. But these are tough things. But this is the world that we're in, and we're all trying to navigate and get to the other side, where we get peace with everyone who we love, and just keep things moving. So thank you, Black Man, for everything that you're doing, and looking forward to seeing you another time. Take care.
All
God
right,
bless
man.
everybody.
See you tomorrow, man. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Bennett, guys. Appreciate you, man. All right, we got CJ from the 5100. CJ, talk to me. What's your final thoughts, my guy?
Shout out to Black Man for creating this culture over here at the Black Man Unfiltered Network. I remember when you first started doing this, bro, and to see what is coming to today, I'm proud of you, brother. The work that you put in it doesn't go unnoticed. That's why no matter what I'm going, if I can only hop on the panel for 30 seconds, I'm gonna be there for you, because I believe in you and I believe in what you're doing.
I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate you, man.
As far as my final thoughts, I recently had something that happened with me and my mother, to where it ended with me having cuts on my body and not under my eye, right? And I'm not saying this for nobody to feel sorry for me, because I love my mama to death. But what we got to understand is that the reason that me and her even are in this position is because the family was out of order from the beginning of his creation. The foundation was never there. So I look at her for certain things. She looks at me for certain things that are not fair to ask from one another. And that's how you get these situations where that little girl is trying to tell her mother what's going on. But I promise you that little girl that woman tried to tell her mother the same thing to some capacity. So it is on us to fix this shit, bro. And the way we fix it is simply looking at ourselves first. Before we even have children, before we even look at dating someone, we have to be the example going forward, even if it's unfair. Because I think it's unfair that I have to fight through what I fight through to be a father. But what am I going to do? Cry about it and not be there for? That's not the solution. My dad chose that. I'm not going to just wail on my dad, my mama. My dad chose to leave because of his situation. I understood it. I even respect it to some degree. But his choices had ramifications and consequences, bro. And I'm dealing with the sins of my father, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to look at this as, from a realistic standpoint, man. We have to value family before we ever have one. That's my final thoughts. And y'all go check me out at the 5100 podcast. Me and my guy Tez the 5, we go live every Saturday from 8:30. You know what I'm saying? 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Saturday night 5. And we do some of the same things Black Man does, some of the same things What We Know podcast does. We try to actually empower men, not just through their dicks. That's all I got.
Hey, man, I appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, go over to the 5100 and like and subscribe and go over there on Saturday, man. They have a great show. So I appreciate you, man. Hey, appreciate that, man, about, where I started and where I am now, man. Still trying to get there, brother. Not satisfied yet, right? So just striving every day to do better and better every day, man. And what I've noticed about these spaces, I used to entertain the haters, CJ, but I'm not entertaining them anymore, because my thing is this. I think haters, when you hear the haters, you're hearing them from the bottom, and they want you to reach down and pull them up, because they want to be at the spot that you're at. And sometimes when we reach down to pull up, we lose focus and fall down where they are. And I think that we should, as content creators that are trying to do it, like you just said, empowering men, and over here having conversations that nobody else is trying to have, right? And nobody else is talking about this. You can just name a platform that's talking about this right now.
Facts.
Right? Nobody's talking about these things. We'll talk about the relationships. Absolutely, we're gonna talk about that, right? Because I've learned in the YouTube spaces and from mentors that you speak about things that people want to talk about, but you don't focus too much on yourself, because you bore people to death, right? And so these conversations are deep, and these conversations hit home with people. Right? I know not one person on this panel tonight that was not affected by this conversation in one way or another. Somebody knows somebody, or somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that went through this or have experienced this. And tomorrow we're going to dig deeper, and I'm going to ask my sister Queen Smiley to lead us in that, because she worked in that world. And I would love to have her perspective overall leading us tomorrow in that. Right? Because she's been there and she knows about it, right? I've seen it. I've dealt with it. I've been a part of it from as a child, but I know she's seen it and she can give it to us in a better perspective. So tomorrow, I'm so excited about tomorrow. So make sure you're listening. But CJ, man, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the warm words of encouragement, brother. I'm always going to be there for you too, man. We was in the dirt together, right? Day ones, man. So thank you so much, brother.
Before you drop me, I just want to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
To all the brothers that reached out to me when I had my situation going on with my mother, I just appreciate y'all phone calls and conversations, because y'all actually helped me.
Absolutely, brother. I already told you, you can call me anytime you need me, brother. Anytime you need me, man. So I appreciate you, CJ, man. Have a good night, my brother. All right. Next up, we got my brother from another mother, Mandrell, in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Mandrell, what are your final thoughts, my guy?
Well, in my experience, the value of a man's protection, it ain't there. It doesn't exist for the most, by and large, it does not exist. Women don't value nor acknowledge a man's protection, or that a man can protect them. Again, they walk around life like shit sweet. But then you find women who are in a position to where they could benefit from a man's protection. The problem with that is, if they're a single mother, they're out alone. And who can she trust? You know, so she's stuck in a very unique dilemma. Well, it's not so unique no more. There's so many of them. But it's a very valid question that, you know, she has to do a lot of vetting for a long time. So if there's any guy out there looking to date a single mother who has a daughter in particular, be patient. Be patient, fellas, because it's going to take a long time. She needs to take that time, because you can't trust anybody these days. I wouldn't trust anybody around my kid if I had one. You know, my mother, my sister, the kid's mother, but that's about as far as it goes, as far as absolute trust goes. So I understand I understand the plight of single mothers out there. The single mothers, you have to learn that there is value in having a man in the house who can protect you and your child. So don't just throw us away. Look into it.
All right,
that's
man.
it.
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Mandrell here on Wednesday nights at 8:30 Central Standard Time.
We'll be talking about exercises, different types of exercises that you should be doing, and to dispel rumors and dispel a lot of misinformation that's out there about certain exercises. Because people look at shit like Instagram. Instagram, people, is where fitness goes to die. Don't pay any attention to none of that nonsense on Instagram. But I'm going to let people know about certain exercises. Calorie count. How to calculate your calorie count that you should be consuming, or you should allow yourself to do. Things like that. Which is better, HIIT versus steady state cardio? You know, which burns more calories, cardio or weightlifting? Should you do both? Should you do one or the other? We're going to go through all that on Wednesday. So that's going to be my second video on health. The first one I got pretty good pushback, so for no reason. But we'll see what happens on this one.
All right. But Mandrell, that'll be here on Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. Mandrell, thank you so much for being here, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, the queen of the evening is in the building. Very beautiful young lady tonight. Queen Smiley in the building. Queen Smiley, what are your final thoughts?
She was flagrant with that damn picture, though.
No, I'm talking about. We'll talk about that. Come on now.
So, my final thoughts. I'll say it again. People, know yourself. Truly get to know yourself before you start entering into the world of dating. I don't care if you're single. I don't care if you have kids or you don't have kids or whatever the case may be. Truly know yourself, what you will and won't stand for, before you put yourself in these compromising situations, before you put your families in these situations. When people show you who they are, believe them. I think what CJ gave an example of a young lady who had approached him, or they were dating, or whatever the case may be. And one time she mentioned, oh, well, I know I ain't gonna see you because you're gonna have your daughter. And the song came and had, you need to cut it. When people start showing you who they are, you need to cut them. We need to stop walking around with blinders on because people slim in the waist and and then they thick where you need them to be. Stop it. Women, we cannot walk around with blinders on because we want men to take care of us. Okay? Take the blinders off and see people for who they truly are, because people show themselves well before getting into these relationships. Ain't nobody in this world gonna tell me, oh, I was with this person 2 or 3 years and this behavior came out of nowhere. Bullshit. 6 weeks into it, slick shit was said. Something was done, okay, that should have put your antennas up. And ain't no amount of love in this world you should be feeling to where you're that blind by people's behaviors. So women, please protect your children. Get your mental health screenings. Like, really check yourself, really check your children. Get them help as well if that's what they need. Even if you think that they're lying, still look into it and get an outside person or agency or whoever to just check it out, just to be on the safe side. Because if you're sitting around here with the idea that your child is competing against you for anybody's attention, you're wrong. Granted, I know it happens because you have some children are that way, I get it, because we've seen both sides of it, to where children are really, shoo, if my mama can pull them, I can too. Guess what, baby? She get it from you. You're the problem. Okay? Women, we're the problem if our children are walking around here looking at us thinking that they can pull your man. Queen, you're the problem. So there's something you need to do to fix in your household with your children. So protect yourselves, protect your children. Yeah.
And thank you so much, Queen Smiley, for being here tonight. Look forward to seeing Queen Smiley tomorrow night on.
And I was planning on calling in sick tomorrow night. Talking about some leading a conversation.
I sure need you, sweetheart.
I ain't no sick days on Black Man Unfiltered Network. But y'all can see me right here on Black Man Unfiltered Network, where they don't give you vacation or sick days. All they do is just, they keep this great content coming. They keep this great content coming. They don't care how you feel about it. They don't care if you emotionally, damaged, hey, we're gonna have this conversation. I don't care how you feel.
Oh my God.
We're gonna help somebody over here. That's where we are. Monday nights on Reactions, and then Talk Tuesday. You'll see me most oftentimes than not. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all always on fire. We appreciate y'all. Black Man Unfiltered Network, we appreciate you all. I'm gonna call you Dewayne.
Yes.
YouTheBomb.com. I told your brother that he should have called your musty ass and told you to come Friday, but that's totally fine. You were missed. It was a beautiful time, and we will see you all right here tomorrow. Same place, same space. Peace, love, and joy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Queen Smiley. My boy JT.
What up, though?
What it is, Doc?
I'm back in business, baby. Back in business. All right, man. This is a lot. It was, I ain't gonna even say a little emotional. It was a lot emotional for me, bro. I've been hearing this type of conversation from a lot of women that I know personally. Like I said, it's anywhere from 85 to 90% of the women that I've ever came in contact with that has talked about either being touched or raped. and this is it's a subject that needs to be really put out here, not just for the women, but for the girls. Let me put it like that: the young girls, but also with the young guys. These young boys is being, and these young girls are being really taken advantage of by these adults, supposed to be adults out here. We could get deeper into it, but we'll leave it for another time because it's an ongoing conversation. But what I can say to a lot of people is you got to start getting out here and being serious about being a parent when it comes down to dating and trying to parent. I'm gonna always stand on it where I don't think that is conducive for parents to have children, especially when I don't care if they're children and they taking care of them. I just don't think it's conducive right now, not in this temperature that we have in this world right now to be dating. It is what it is. We've been having it's just entirely too many issues out here that we have where adults are taking advantage of these children, man. So first and foremost, start being serious about being with somebody. Start being serious about having women having having protection. That's one thing that I can't give, but you gotta go out here, man, and you gotta be serious about this. This is not supposed to be recreational. This is about survival. This is about being in cohesion with one another, building communities. This is about being able to teach as well as learn. So in order for this to happen, man, we gotta be together. We gotta understand how connected we are as human beings, first and foremost, and then how connected we are as women and men. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it, man. I'm gonna end it like that. But I want everybody to be able to come over and follow me and my boy Rob at What We Know Podcast. Almost as like I want to know with my boy. That's kind of dope how he did that also. Yeah. That's pretty dope. And but come over there, man, on Saturday nights, 9:30. Your boy Rob, your boy JT, man. We're gonna be talking about stuff exactly like what we're talking about over here also, man. So I just I just want people to really get in their head that we have to start being a little more serious when we want to start building and really being involved into our community, whatever that community is, whatever it is. It starts with family first and foremost. It starts with women, man, and children. And that's all I got to say, bro.
All right, man. Thank you so much, man. Please go over, man. This is my brother, man. I always got my back. I always got his. And, man, I just appreciate you so much, man. And, again, happy 50th birthday to you, bro. Getting that big 50, man. You, bro. I love you, man, your family, everything that you about me, everything you stand for. I stand with you, brother.
I got to say one more thing, man. I have to give a shout out to my girl.
Man,
look, this is I'm like, when God say that he in love, this process that I've been going through with this thing here, with this woman that I got right now, man. Bro, she cooking on all cylinders, man. And I am a very content man right now, bro. Man. I'm ready to get out here and just conquer the world, bro.
Man, come on, bro.
Ready to conquer it. Shout out to my baby Nidra, bro.
Absolutely, man. Shout out, shout out, shout out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least, the Dustosphere is in the building tonight.
Good evening, people. Unfortunately, go ahead.
Just a second. Dustosphere is in the building tonight.
Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome.
Bro, that's fire. Final thoughts.
My bad.
Some of it, I guess I had to say agree to disagree, because I was just looked at a panel full of It's too loud.
Good.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'll turn it up.
There we go. I just looked at a panel full of 8 decent people that I can say I'd fairly trust. But we spend a lot of time talking about so much about who the monsters are out there. And, oh, they're going to, got to watch out for this, watch out for that. And I know that this paralyzes people to the point where a decent person tries to have a decent meal and sit down with a lady, and they spend 30 minutes talking about paralyzed axe murders and snipers and stuff. You can't move forward. You can't. How you going to put single moms get protection for their daughters and families by putting something together, finding a stepfather? How can you do that in paralysis mode? Worried about what something is that probably isn't even true. Versus going and looking at your brother, your father, your cousin, who isn't an axe murderer, isn't some kind of violating whatever, asking him, hey man, I'll give you $500 if you find me somebody like you and I'll just marry him. Do whatever you got to do to get protection in your households. Take whatever L's you need to take. It might be an ugly man that's at the post office, but at least you'll be safe and you'll be covered. Yes, there's risk. But we can't have a paralysis mindset that everybody's out to get us and you can't go here. Oh, some of what I just heard, I'm scared. I'm a 6-foot grown man with a concealed handgun license. I'm scared to walk to 7-Eleven now. We can't be paralyzed. Think about the positive. Prepare yourself. There is risk, but focus on the positive, not the negative that everybody is out here to get you. That's kind of all I got. But I'll see y'all in the Dustosphere this Thursday evening. We got a hot topic. It's gonna be some fire.
Absolutely,
about
man.
the positive. That's all I got.
Absolutely, man. All right, man. Thank you for being here, man. Everybody, make sure you tune in on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You will be able to see my boy at his best with the Dustosphere. He's rocking it out. So you guys come and make sure. And he wants to welcome everybody to the Dustosphere.
Welcome to the Dustosphere. Welcome to the Dustosphere.
All right. Welcome to the Dustosphere. All right. He'll be here Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you so much. Now, guys, as I end the show tonight, I definitely want to say that we had a great conversation. Thank you so much. So we had a great conversation. I want to just say something. You know, a lot of people have a lot to say that don't have a lot to say, that shouldn't have a lot to say. And I won't address them by name simply because it doesn't take all that. It just takes me addressing a situation that can be blanketed across a lot of people that, may use this. Ladies and gentlemen, when you live a life, this is what I want to say in closing. When you live a life that's transparent as mine, the only secret that people keep saying about me is that you're a big dude. You're a pretty big dude, right? Fat dude, right? Okay, I'll take it. But when it comes to personal information, family information, you ain't gonna find out nothing about me that I won't tell you to yourself. But guys, we have to be mindful that what you do unto others will come back on you. It is very important that we know that. What you do unto others will come back to you. You can lie, you cannot be yourself, you cannot be true to yourself. You can be the most horrible person and come on these cameras and be that, but everybody will tell you. Queen Smiley knows me from the little town we grew up in as children, that I was the same then, without a camera, not even having YouTube back then, and to the person I am now, I'm the same person. I haven't changed at all. Right? Because that's why a lot of people are getting exposed. That's why a lot of YouTube content creators are creating content on people's lives because they seem to hide so much behind who they truly are. If you broke and you work at a gas station, if you ain't got no money, you don't make $50,000 a year, it's okay. Just be honest with who you are. Be truthful to who you are. You're building, but don't come on and act like you're not. You're this great person. We don't act like we don't. We're out here giving advice to other people, but we're lying to each other, lying to ourselves. The worst thing you could do is just lie to yourself and lie to other people and be exposed because of it. Guys, be true to who you are, because you never know who's recording you. You never know who's going to put you out on blast. You never know who's going to bring up something that you may have said. You never know. So be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of how you conduct yourself, because exposure is a real thing. And sometimes exposure finds the person and it exposes you. Be mindful who you are. Be mindful what you say, because the very thing you may be talking to or about somebody else may be exposed in the closest person to you that you thought was your best friend. Will put you on Front Street. It's been going on a lot lately. A lot of people have been made. A lot of people have become reaction videos, but that won't be me. You won't find anything else about me that I won't tell you. I'll tell you, because I'll be honest with you. I'm the same person I was at 13, 14, evolved to an adult, and I'm the same personality, same fun, get down going, and ready to fight at any moment if you mess with somebody that I love and I care for. Anyway, I just thought I would get that out. So I did want to also say, shout out to the brothers. Shout out to Mandrell, right? No, sometimes Mandrell can be hell to tell the captain. However, I love him to death, and it can't nobody tell me nothing different. Same thing goes for JT. JT is my brother. Love JT, man. These guys are older than me. I can learn a lot from them. And I know if I ever get trapped in Michigan, I got a place to lay my head. If I get tripped and fall in Alabama, I can go over there with Shiva and lay down and go to sleep on the couch where the cat probably tear me up. Right? I know if I go to Florida, my boy Dusto got my back. Right? I know that for a fact. I know that. And so I'm thankful for them, Mr. Bennett. If I'm in New Jersey, I already know I got a place to lay my head, because these guys are truly brothers. They're not brothers that talk well. CJ, I know if I go to Memphis, CJ gonna have me somewhere to stay. It may be a whole bunch of strippers in the house, but I'm gonna have somewhere to stay. Amen. Amen. But anyway, just joking around. But I know he has a place for me to stay too. That's my brother. We have a fortified circle here. Shout out to Bernard. All right. Also my brother. Always keeping me informed about those people who always keeping me informed about things in life and trying to keep my mind straight. So thank God for him as well. And to the women, Coach K, Queen Smiley, beautifully animated. Let me see who else. I'm trying to think. Family Values. Like, all of you guys make this networking what it is, and we have so much more to come moving forward. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Do something nice for someone, guys. And if you can't do anything nice for someone, please do something nice for yourself, because self-care is absolutely 100% the best care. You guys have been amazing tonight. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. The chat is undefeated as usual. We appreciate you all. You guys have a great and wonderful evening. Peace. Listen here, I'm never going to end a show without the master moderator, the master participator, and all of this as well. We want to give a great hand clap to the one and the only, Miss Jenny Morena. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for always having your boy back, always in the chat, always in the back, always making sure we all at bars. Thank you so much. She's a wife. She's a mother. She's a activist for what's right. She's a woman of numbers. She's a woman of video games, and she's a woman of no games. Played with her. So thank God for her as well. She is amazing. So thank you so much, Jenny. If you hear me right now, thank you so much. And I'm glad that you're feeling better, hun. Y'all have a good night. Peace.